fourth wall.
Hello, everybody. I promise. If you were here in the opening seconds, I apologize for the awkward sound motion.
For the can open. We just went into
You missed it. You folks missed it. It's fine. You're here. You're involved. I swear you're not missing out on anything. This is John Escudero. What the fuck is up? Late night Dirt Sheet Radio with the boys. Say what's up, Greg. Nick, talk to
What's
the
up,
people.
you fine folks? I've got myself a can of that good ass berry power bomb.
Good? Oh, you sure? Is it
It's
good?
okay.
Did you sip it yet?
What's up, Nick?
Hey, what's up? I am here with the chief. Let's do this. Oh, and we can't forget about Bruno.
I think that's literally the point of the song, but we fucking what up, everybody? Hey, listen, it's Dirt Sheet Radio, and I wanted to kick it off by saying thank y'all for joining us all week long. It's been a long ass WrestleMania week. We still got halfway to go.
It ain't been a long ass WrestleMania week yet. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's been long for me, motherfucker. This is my third stream in a row.
I'm telling you, it ain't been long yet.
Ready for it more.
Halfway.
You got a while before it gets long.
Halfway. We're not even
Just
halfway. Tomorrow is halfway. When they do the Impact stream is halfway. I don't even know who's gonna do the Impact stream. It's fucking hell. I think Matt's out, so I don't know. You guys will be as surprised as I am. But
It's someone
Guys,
involved in
let's do some rapid fire stuff. Let's take 3 minutes to talk about speed.
Ricochet starts the match at the end of the match.
This is
He's
not
so
the speed
fast,
that
it's
we're
already
gonna talk
there.
about.
That's what they did. I don't know if you caught that. Did you catch the first match? They released it today.
I caught a little bit of it, and then my girlfriend video called me, so I haven't gone back.
How fucking little bit of it could you have caught? It's only 3
It was
minutes long. Why
literally, it was
couldn't you
literally
just...
a minute 30.
You should have just finished it. You should have just said, wait, like, hold on a minute. Literally a minute. I'll be right there.
We
You
haven't
paused
even
it
hit
for
3
later.
minutes here yet.
Yeah, take a fucking Oreo cookie, only eat the top half and put the other half in the fridge. What the fuck? Oh, that's great. WWE Speed, where Greg found a way to still say it's too long.
Too much WWE.
Just too much.
Too much, y'all.
Listen.
Guys, we just hit 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done.
3
Thank
minutes
you
and
all,
we're
man.
out of here.
This is Dirt Sheet
Fuck
Radio
this
Speed.
shit, and we're
You
in
guys
the
are
video.
fucking
We got
awesome.
3 minutes and we're out of here. We got 3 minutes and we're out. We're out.
Okay,
Yo, I just had a realization just now.
What's that?
We could easily open this up every week with Dirt Sheet Radio.
What the fuck was that, Nick?
Radio.
All right, well,
we
this is
gonna
my
wrap?
final podcast. See ya.
I was
we-
already trying to push for Dirt Sheet Radio Gaga.
Did you just? Oh God! With the
Oh,
puns, I'm gonna kill you both. Did you just fucking force us into a rap battle? Is that what you're doing? Like,
This is what
Radio.
happens. Remember when we opened the show earlier on the Dynamite?
no,
stream?
stop! I can't. I quit. I'll quit right now. I'll shut this whole shit down. All of it. Dirt Sheet, the website, the fucking Facebook, all of it.
We're done.
Sit down. What happened to him? Puns. Ah, I understand. Listen, man. We try to talk about
Trying.
Dirt Sheet Radio. It's a big week for Dirt Sheet Radio. Not only are we doing 10 fucking streams in a 7-day period, we partnered up, teamed with, merged with, had a baby with Comic Book Click. That's right, the Comic Book Click, the makers of major issues.
If we're honest, we were always kind of in a situationship with Comic Book Click.
We've been together. We've been
You
on and
know,
off. No,
We just finally decided to like just be the thing in public.
it was like, man, I've known George since fucking 2017, 18, and a long time ago. He reached out to me and he asked me to be on major issues, and I've been on it since then. And you know, as time passed, Dirt Sheet Radio expanded into pop culture shit. And then I was like, man, we got this awesome stream of reliable weekly live fucking streams. We should do the same thing with pop culture so that we can have a presence in there. But I couldn't bring it together myself. And then I smacked myself in the fucking head. I said, what am I doing? Why am I struggling to fucking figure out a pop culture pipeline? I know a guy.
My homie's right there.
So I called him, and then he's like, "Not only do I have an outline, a pipeline of content for you, I had a fucking website." And so
John
we
basically called. He
chocolate.
said, "Look, I got a whole truck full of chocolate. I see you got some peanut butter. Let's try this shit out."
Yeah, we lost me. My internet sucks.
And it turned out,
Yeah,
Reese's
basically
pretty
we're a
good.
Reese's Cup now. But thank
There we
y'all.
go, we did it.
So thank y'all for supporting us this far, and fucking keep joining us as the future keep busting wide open. Bust it open, baby.
We're more like
We
a
got-
Butterfinger. It tastes good, but it might hurt your teeth.
Hey yo.
Dirt Sheet Radio, not here to hurt your teeth.
So that's the business talk. Then we could get into the pro wrestling talk. Did y'all want to talk about what to do the good or the bad first? Do
Do the good first, because the bad.
positive.
This is
some
gonna be a long
positive.
talk, and I need to take a break.
All right, well, we'll do some positive, man. We'll talk some WrestleMania. Why the fuck
Positivity.
not? We get right into some WrestleMania.
Totally
Y'all want
lost
to talk
Greg.
about
He doesn't want to talk about WrestleMania.
Greg just want to get right into the CM Punk shit. You fiend. No,
I
it's
missed the
WrestleMania
fiend.
season, man. It's a long fucking week. Oh shit. Christopher Gonzalez referencing Matt Jackson's little shout out earlier. Yo, scapegoat. I like your work. That was interesting. Listen, I've been said they should put the Young Bucks and Jack Perry in a team together. It just makes all the sense in the world. They have all the same heat for the same reason. Why the fuck not?
They're already associated, especially as much as the pop cultured community is concerned.
As much as they're concerned, I'm not sure that they're that fucking concerned. Jesus says, I just watched that Jimmy Fallon with The Rock and Roman, which was good, but damn, Roman barely got to ask any questions or talk. So I did watch that a little while ago with my son, and you know what it is? The Rock is very used to being on talk shows, and he knows how the fuck talk show goes, and he knows how to play with it back and forth. Roman didn't know how to play with it off the top of his head. He was kind of answering questions straight up that The Rock knew that he was supposed to joke with. Dwayne got that talk show shit down packed. Roman doesn't yet. I mean, I'm sure he will in the
It
future.
feels like that's also been like the theme of a lot of the stuff lately with Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
It's just the fact he's been such like a almost hate to say it because he's the champ, but an afterthought because it's all been Cody and Rock.
Hey, I'll have you know, Roman ordered the hit on Cody.
Okay, he didn't
He
do
was
it on
involved.
screen
Did-
though.
did it
He
for The
did it.
Rock.
He did it on the phone. He did it through text message. Hey, could
He
you
was
get
involved.
Cody for me? I forgot. I fucking forgot.
Listen,
I forgot I was
Roman
feuding with
still
him.
uses
listen.
AIM.
2011 was all about the text messages. You remember Kevin Nash?
Listen,
OMG, Kevin Nash thought he was dead. LOL.
the Roman Rock thing, I think could be. I was watching the Cody Roman timeline. They put it on YouTube. It's only an hour and 20 minutes long, which I was like, oh shit, okay.
I'm surprised you weren't watching the Hikaru Shida timeline.
I have watched that a lot actually. Wait, are we talking about the same Hikaru Shida video or?
No,
Oh fuck.
AEW
Anyway.
just uploaded a timeline like 2 days ago.
Oh, I was talking about some older
God
videos.
damn it, John.
Anyway, so the I noticed just how much when Roman and Cody were doing their thing without The Rock, Roman felt like the big star, and nothing about him has changed. Like it's not like they've actively done anything to Roman to make him seem less than The Rock. It's just that The Rock has such a overwhelming, overbearing presence.
He's Titanic.
He's a
The
fucking
Attitude Era all over
literally
again.
just walked right out and stepped in front of the sun, and
Yeah.
all he's doing is stretching, but he's blocking it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And it didn't help that it was just like, oh, now we've given him a cool new entrance. Oh, now we've changed his theme song 3 different times. Oh, the Hollywood theme is back. Hey, we changed it
really funny.
again.
It's been such like a mix of like new and old.
They
Oh,
add
now
a
he's
new
got a
thing every
new
week.
nickname.
Actually,
Yeah,
they
they
add
have.
a new piece to the entrance every week. I'm like, what are we
Yeah.
doing? Like, why
The
are
first the first time they just jacked up the camera shot and they just like, no, don't pan away, you idiots. Go back to the shot.
I actually think we took it too far. We fucking reached peak when he interrupted Cody that week. Then we came the next week and we pushed it. We added a whole big, bright, holographic Dwayne on the screen.
Final boss.
The
Boom.
final boss thing was right when they didn't pan so that they can see it.
Bam.
They had a fucking shot from behind the ring when he first walks out that made it look like he was walking out of darkness. That shit was perfect. When I saw him walk out the door this week, I was so sad. Just like, fuck, it's gone.
Well, no, because we have to have the lightning shot.
Fuck. They fucked it. They fucked it all up. Anyway,
I think the shot you're talking about only works for interruptions.
It's fine. You could just pan back that way when they're not interrupting. Like they have buttons. They
No,
just hit
but we have to keep the shot on the screen.
I hate these motherfuckers. No,
We put work into these graphics, John.
they actually been doing a great job with production lately. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shit on it. It's good shit.
Mhm.
And I want and to that point, like it's one of those rare times where we said if you're gonna have just the one big fucking screen, use it.
True.
And
And
this
they've
is the
used
one
it well.
time they are using it.
Using
yeah.
the shit out of it. And I think it's that Dwayne Hollywood mindset. But like I said in the
Probably,
last
yeah.
last
It's
week,
probably his own production brain.
I need
Oh,
to-
his production
I need
too
him
has
to
been
share
more
that.
involved with like the overall presentation of the show. I mean, they've been doing like countless hours of research and getting all kinds of clips and getting all kinds of histories ready to put together.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that this is gonna keep happening after Dwayne is gone. That's gonna fucking kill me if he
And after
disappears
Mania.
the day after WrestleMania and we're back to like sauceless WWE. Like fuck, how did we get here?
Yeah, I think that it could be like it's weird, right? Because on the surface, it's some of the best live sports production or sports based live production you could probably ever see on television. But it's also like lacked the sense of character to it for a very long time.
Hey, I think okay, so the wrestling is cool again is the thing that we're all talking about. We're all saying to each other within our little circles, man, wrestling is cool again. I think I've heard naysayers, friends of mine, tell me like, no, man, it's fucking football game. It's got 12 million viewers live, or it wasn't a football game, it was a basketball game. Sorry, that's how much sports I know. It was this basketball
Football.
game. It was a basketball game with the girl that's really popular right now,
Caitlin
Caitlin Clark.
Clayton
And,
Clark.
Click, click, clack, click.
That's easy for you to say.
Clickety clack.
Clickety clack. I almost made a really bad joke.
No,
Shit.
bad.
I'm fighting urges. Anyway, they
John's
got
fighting
like,
off his
something like,
natural state for this.
it was something like
podcast.
12. I fight my natural self every fucking day with this thing. It can die. It will die. If I sat here and I was just Jonathan, this whole shit would be
Thank you,
gone
Jesus.
tomorrow morning. Dirty
I-
radio in the mud.
Very brief aside. I had a friend of mine who, a work associate friend of mine who used to work at her, like the self checkout lane areas where they have like the one podium.
Why would she be working at the self checkout lane?
Because
Supposed to
they need people there
No,
to
I know,
assist you.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
sure.
I know.
People are dumb, John. Have you
I
noticed?
think she's lying. I think she's lying to you, Greg.
No, but
she's
yeah,
stealing. I think she's stealing.
No. she would have a newspaper at her desk all the time, and I was like, "What do you read here?" It was like nothing. I write in it all the things I want to say but can't say to people.
Oh, nice. You open it
do
and
it?
it says all kinds of like slurs and shit. What the fuck? What the
says, like,
fuck is in the news today?
It's just like an abundance, like really nice things because she just hurls insults at everyone.
Your hair is really pretty. Why didn't you tell her this? No. But yeah, no. So that game, Jesus, thanks for the info. LSU versus Iowa. Something like
Hawkeyes,
12,
I guess?
something like
UOLY.
12 million people live. And the
Yeah.
guy and he works with us, but he tells
No,
me,
put him on blast.
listen, wrestling, you keep saying it's in a fucking boom, but they pull in 1 million to 2 million viewers a week. This shit is what the fuck it's about. 12 million viewers a week. And I said, you know what? You got a point there, but there's a couple things that I think you're not considering. One, there's a US live viewership metrics, right? But like you're talking about a global situation, right? When they say 60 million people in India watch WrestleMania,
Yeah,
I say, what the fuck does 12 million people in America mean to that?
sure.
It's a bigger picture, but that's not the only thing. I think that wrestling, as cool as it's becoming again, I think that it's not exactly the water cooler conversation yet. Like,
No.
you don't have, unless it's WrestleMania, unless it's a big 4 pay-per-view, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, something big happened at SummerSlam, and to sometimes Survivor Series, you're not gonna get the rush to talk about this shit the next morning. If it's an episode of Raw, episode of SmackDown, episode of Dynamite, they're gonna watch the clips, man. I'm gonna watch the clips on YouTube. They're gonna watch the clips on social media. 100 million fucking people are subscribed to WWE on YouTube. Only 1 million of them are watching live. You got to tell me. You have to know that as a person, as a normal person, just using logic without even thinking too hard.
Yeah. So
there's more, you know.
There's 2 points to that. One, I had 2 moments at my job that almost kind of hurt my heart because I'm just like, damn it, this is the old Vince machine working the way he intended it to work. Right after The Rock came back, 2 people from my job brought up WWE to me because they heard The Rock was back. And I was just like, oh, damn it.
That's exactly
how always the point. It works. I hate that it works. 2, there are a lot of people, especially people in our age range, that still, I won't even say don't understand, even though that's a big part of it, but reject the idea that the YouTube metrics mean something.
That's so funny.
Because they grew up in a TV mindset, and it's like, to them, that machine hasn't been broken.
I remember too, you got all the different elements with live streaming and whatnot. I just pulled up the list right now of what is currently the most subscribed YouTube channels. WWE is right there. They are the number 10 most subscribed YouTube channel out there.
Fuck?
Yeah.
Do you know how much money?
So
it's not even like.
Is that on the same list as like Mr. Beast and PewDiePie?
Yeah,
they're up there.
Number 2 is Mr. Beast. Number 8's PewDiePie. Number 10, WWE. They're ahead of Blackpink. They're ahead.
What's number 1?
Who's number 1? Yeah,
T-Series.
T-Series.
I have no idea what that is.
I remember. That's the that's like a foreign music channel or something like that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, from India.
Yeah, from India. Okay. Yeah. Hey, listen, Indians, they love their fucking YouTube.
That's something of a credit, right? Because the number 1 channel is a channel from India, which is one of WWE's biggest, content bases. This is why.
Absolutely.
Say what you want about the dirty money. This is why going to Crown Jewel makes sense every year for them as a business.
Hey, the Saudi Arabians are very different from the Indians. There's also nothing wrong with the Saudi Arabians. I mean, their leadership. I'm not commenting on that. I'm talking about like as people. People are people, wherever they come from.
I do want to say too that like here's like some of the channels on YouTube WWE's ahead of. They're ahead of Justin Bieber. They're ahead of Blackpink. They're ahead of movie clips. They're ahead of Eminem. There's a lot of major stars that they have way more subscribers than. Yeah, and it's not even close. Like Justin Bieber 72 million, WWE 100 million. There are only 10 channels that have that much right now.
Yeah,
that's still crazy to me.
And another thing you can't forget, another thing people should strive to remember is that compared to television, YouTube is a consistent, constantly driving money stream.
Yep, and on top of it, like you said,
there is a reason they re-upload. I've always thought about this, and it occurred to me today because they did it today or yesterday rather. There is a reason that WWE can just re-upload matches that they have uploaded 2 years ago.
Yeah,
they uploaded Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania again a day or 2 ago. Why? Because 500,000 new people are going to click on that link, which makes them more money. It doesn't matter that they uploaded it once. It doesn't matter that you can already find it.
I lifted the hood on Dershi Radio a couple weeks ago to see some things and do some calculations, and just
did smoke come out?
Well, it's always fucking something with a piece of tape here, a fucking thing over there. But I looked under
I hit
there
it with a hammer. It started working.
Lots of duct
tape. We did some calculations about how much it could come from just the metrics that we do, and it's significant.
Significant, right?
I can only imagine when I look at those fucking numbers. I can only imagine what they're pulling in from YouTube.
Yeah,
alone.
Yeah,
like it's crazy how much more important social media engagement is in just driving the conversation on your phone, on your computer is today. And that's why I say, like, that's why I was talking about AEW fighting a big battle online, because as long as they've got constant negativity surrounding them, and it's not even like product based, like, like As long as there's negativity surrounding them in any way, those are the only stories that are populating on the top of your Google fucking chart. You ever open your Google app by accident and it just shows you a bunch of fucking news stories based on your algorithm, and it is the most jank, low quality fucking websites talking about the things you enjoy with the shittiest headlines. I like comic books, I like wrestling, I like fucking video games and Star Wars and shit. These websites that pop up on my little Google search, it's the lowest of the low, the scum of the scum.
Yeah,
the cosmic
it doesn't even have to be notable. It just has to be you.
And they're not they're pushing all these fucking horrible agendas, and they're fucking hiding it under the guise of constructive criticism. Yeah, it's not constructive criticism to just hate everything a woman is in, but like that's besides the point. That's the kind of shit that shows up on my fucking feed. So if you're a wrestling fan and you open your shit up, what the fuck are you getting? The lowest of the low quality, low hanging fruit articles that all talk about the same shit because they know it's all going to get the engagement.
And here's what I want to say to that too is the fact, as someone that works in social media, we're in a whole new era within like the discovery era, as they like to call it, because again, this is all based on algorithms that will dictate whatever your user experience is, be it whatever cookies you might have on your device, be it what you've been searching recently, what you've been watching, what you're the most engaged with, what you've been consistently, and a lot of that just comes from TikTok. TikTok was a huge influence on social media as a whole,
which is why we tried to destroy it.
That's exactly what's happening, and that caused such a shift, because previously you had like Meta, they were always the trendsetters, but now they're following in like what TikTok was setting up. So now everything is based on what you have been already seeing, what you have already been engaging with, what you yourself might have even been putting out there into the world.
If you dug too deeply into how it all works, you would not be like judged if it creeped you out.
You would mostly be thinking, man, I wish I could start over because I already am way too deep in. They've got too much on me. No. Like, fuck! Dude, that VPN ain't gonna save you, boy.
Do you know how hard it is to do you know how hard it is to like reset your freaking TikTok algorithm?
Brother, I can't imagine, because I mean, you know how trackers work, right? Yeah, I can't imagine the kind of lists I ended up on.
Oh man!
But I'm also just talking like once your algorithm,
agents here.
Like once you've sort of like gotten your first, if you start something new, like a new profile, and once that first algorithm sort of gets set for you, it is very difficult to retrain it.
There's that, but also just like the things your IP address and other things are attached to your fucking email that you used to sign into your Google Chrome, which I don't use anymore because I started caring about my RAM.
Your RAM?
Yeah, I didn't know it was such a problem. I didn't know Google Chrome was so angry and so hungry and so hungry.
What are you using instead?
I wanted to point out
I am using something that's probably worse. Because right now the StreamYard only works in Chrome or Edge.
I am also using Microsoft Edge.
I'm a Firefox kid.
But I only
should I be using Edge? I haven't looked into Edge.
No, you're using Cope.
I see clearly.
We
show this.
I wanted to go into two things here. One, their most recent upload on the WWE YouTube page, WrestleMania 38 full match, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. Why would you give away a full match that you can get on your Peacock subscription? Because as of 11 hours ago, it already has 75,000 views.
You know what? These matches take out the entrance, right? And you would think,
most of the time, yes.
You would think that's not a big deal, but you'd be surprised how much I feel like I'm missing when it's like we get ready to the bell rings. I'm like, oh,
I agree. I'm real big into like the atmosphere of the build up to that bell ringing. So like, I do feel like I'm missing stuff. Also, you would think, right? At least the way logic made sense in the past is you've got this big segment, you want to build up to this big segment, and there's an exclusivity to like, I need to get home at this time so I can see the big segment. An example would be like the CM Punk in Chicago promo, right? The most recent one where he, jawed with Drew McIntyre and made everyone on the internet laugh.
That was pretty funny. That was good. That was good TV.
Yes, it was. And you think to yourself, you would never just throw the full segment on YouTube because that's supposed to be prime live TV viewing, but they can. Full segment, CM Punk roasts The Rock, Rollins, and Drew McIntyre. It's only been 9 days, 2.1 million views.
Well, see, I think that speaks more to what I was saying about television not being the most important thing anymore.
No, yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah,
you in the past you wouldn't put the entire segment on YouTube when you would think you want this to be something people rush home to watch on TV. Now you don't have to get home on TV because they're gonna put it on the YouTube. But those YouTube metrics are doing more for them than you popping the rating on Raw.
It's I've been watching WWE. I enjoy WWE right now. I'm enjoying WWE, but even then,
I enjoy segments of it.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I enjoy WWE a lot because I'm not burning myself out watching fucking 3 hours of Raw and being like,
yes.
Right.
I hate myself.
And there's an audience for that too. Like looking at the segments on the other side of the coin. I just went right now to AEW's YouTube channel. I mean, looking at that, it's solid. 4 million subscribers. Literally, the thing of Swerve and Joe just got 108,000 views and counting right now.
And that was like a couple hours ago. They
uploaded it 4 hours ago, and it's already over 100K. We lost John on that one. He went to check it out.
John went to go look for it.
Exactly. But like even still, like on here, I'm looking at things that have 20,000 views, and that's just for like Lion. It's crazy that Lion Hook segment only got 20,000 views because it's Jericho. But
I had to run out and see that segment for myself.
That's what we just said.
We told him.
Osprey's video, his match got 60,000 views.
Okay.
Joe and Swerve, that's 100,000 views right there.
John got cooked.
See, Lion Hook only got 20,000 views.
It's a bad segment, but we got into that earlier.
We got into that earlier. Almost 100,000 views for like the majority of like pretty much all of the Collision stuff. Matt Cardona and Adam Copeland, 600,000 views. YouTube is huge thing, and I think a lot of people are just discounting the YouTube money completely.
They don't understand it.
You know what it is too? Like,
at least that's what I
sucks. It sucks to be a fan of pro wrestling and want to have like a conversation about pro wrestling. Thankfully, we have this system, this network that we created ourselves, but we had to create it ourselves because otherwise, how do you fucking exist in this fandom? How do you have a intelligent conversation with someone that you know isn't just the fucking lowest form of absolute amoeba brain fucking like
this motherfucker said amoeba brain.
You can't talk about ratings with people like that, which is
alien organism.
It's ironic that people talk about ratings and metrics so much. Like, this is the worst fucking fandom to talk about metrics. You can't even read. What are you saying?
Oh my god.
You fucking counting but look at this number, it's bigger than that number. So I know that means that this one is better. Like, you low IQ scum. I can't even begin to get into how much I hate sometimes. How much I hate this sometimes. Just this. So yeah. So, but shit, let's get this was supposed to be the positive. This was supposed to be the positive part of the conversation.
Quick question: What time is WrestleMania starting?
It's supposed to be 6 hours long. Oh, it starts at 7. Starts at 7.
Okay,
and
so we're doing
pre-show
that.
Pre-show at 5. 2 hours pre-show. Can't fit the battle royale on there. Put it on SmackDown. We got talking to do.
What do they have to talk about?
I hate that they don't have the battle royal on WrestleMania.
That's fucked up. Fucked up.
See, they don't even get to. You know what's funny about it to me is that at least back when they did have it on WrestleMania, like you could call it a throwaway segment, but like those people got WrestleMania checks. That was the point.
Sometimes it's not even a check. Sometimes it's the moment. Like, damn, you know what? I'm a fucking jobber. Okay, like I know I'm not gonna get a main event. I might not even get a match.
But I got
I
to
get
walk.
to walk out in front of 60,000 people. They ain't play
Yeah.
my entrance music, but I'm out there,
I
man.
mean, dude, look,
Hey,
like
Yoshitatsu won before WrestleMania 26.
no,
Yep.
see, I'll do you better than that. Ultimo Dragon's dream was to be at WrestleMania and Madison Square Garden. He got to do both at the same time.
See, he almost bust his ass, fell on his face.
He did, but we edited that out, so future generations will never know.
I was
CM
at
Punk
a,
is gonna be on the pre-show. That's his. Don't worry, that's all
That's
he's
the
gonna
most
get.
entertaining it'll ever be.
I've it's been my dream to watch a Battle Royal, and I missed the one at WrestleMania 22. But I
Oh, did
know
you?
what happened was there was a botch at the end, and it was supposed to be Road Warrior Animal, that Chicago connection. Animal was supposed to win, but instead he accidentally fell out. They had to call an
Oh,
audible on the
no.
spot because the last two in the ring were two Raw guys versus one SmackDown guy who got thrown out, and the last two, I think it was Snitsky and Viscera.
Oh no!
This is the WrestleMania 22 DVD exclusive Battle Royale, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It is. It is. This is vaguely familiar. You just unlocked a piece of childhood. I don't think I knew that it was a
That core
botch,
memory,
but I
son.
always knew how weird it was that we somehow ended up with two big, not just two big Raw guys, but like there were. I mean, Animal was it was like a big push, but on SmackDown they
Was this
treated
Biker
him
Animal?
like a
Yeah.
but
But
like
it's
a lower mid
Animal
card baby face. Like he felt
Legend-
like the bigger deal.
is
Yeah.
a legend with the Chicago ties that would have
Yes.
got the huge Chicago pop.
Yes.
It definitely felt weird. Thank you for letting me know that. I never knew it was a botch.
That because especially too, you could see with the ref just being like, and then like Snitsky's just during the headlights.
It's
And then Viscera's like, I'll win it.
Let's throw up the
Fuck it, brother, I'll
WrestleMania
take it.
schedule again.
the WrestleMania week schedule.
Mhm.
I gotcha.
Can we
Boom.
appreciate too? You
Skadoosh.
guys, I always used to buy the WrestleMania DVDs just because I love WrestleMania, but at the same time, I love the bonus features on there, especially because you get the dark matches in those segments.
Sure.
You used to get the dark
Appreciate-
matches, but also they would come with like documentaries and shit.
Yeah.
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 The,
know who
the amount of
doesn't love that?
talent- Who doesn't love
Austin Aries, because he didn't
Oh.
get paid.
They left him off the DVD though.
Go if you're listening to this right now, take the opportunity. If you're like driving your car, pull over. Whenever you get the opportunity,
Oh, fuck.
go to the WrestleMania 23 Wikipedia article. They had all of these wrestlers. They had like about 40 plus wrestlers that they
23?
were doing anything with at WrestleMania 23. They had a tag team lumberjack match, Ric Flair and Carlito versus Gregory Helms and Chavo Guerrero. Look at the giant amount of lumberjacks and the talent within that list as well. That could have just been like a 40-man battle royal.
Your WrestleMania 23, you're talking about DVD extras. Didn't it have like the whole Saturday night main event on that bitch?
Yeah.
Shit, I had the steelbook. It wasn't even called a steelbook back then. I think it was like called a collectible tin. Oh, don't get
have
me
it right
started,
over
man.
here.
Oh yeah.
You have that?
The tin can.
I lent
Ronnie-
it to someone and never got it back.
It was
That's
me.
why I don't lend nobody shit. That's why I don't lend nobody shit.
Learned your lesson.
Damn right I did. Fucking WrestleMania 23. Look at there it is. Holy shit. Thank you for that. You just unlocked a beautiful memory, Nick. Damn. I used to have that.
I once got no bullshit. I once got a WrestleMania 21 DVD in the mail. Never bought it. Nobody I knew ordered
What was
it
fun
for me.
about those?
It just came in the mail one day.
A WWE DVD came in the mail for you and nobody ordered it for you? Are you
Nobody
sure
ordered
they
it for
weren't
me.
just
I didn't
fucking
pay
with you?
for it. The only person I would have asked is my aunt, and she definitely wouldn't have fucked with me. That's not how she works.
Did you have what was it? WWE 24/7 at the time?
No, because I didn't even have that. We had DirecTV. We didn't have
I
that.
did. I didn't get a DVD.
It's 24/7. They would send you the most random things at different times.
What?
Would they?
What?
Yeah.
Nick,
Hmm.
I had WWE 24/7 from day one. Day one. I think until the day it closed down. I
No,
did not
John's just
get-
like, where's my swag?
I didn't get a napkin. What are you fucking saying right now?
I think I got
You
like a
telling
couple
me-
of Jack's Classic Superstars.
What the fuck are you talking about? How did you subscribe to WrestleMania to WWE 24/7? Like what doing that they knew what you were doing because I had to. It was an add-on to my cable bill. It was just an on-demand
That
channel.
was ours too.
What the fuck? Like, how did you get free things?
Comcast.
I'm sick right now. I'm sick. I
I
want to
used
die.
to be so fucking jealous of people who had that. But then we got the WWE Network, and I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, that
No,
was really
man.
worth it.
WWE Network was different, but like you had to be there. You had to be there for WWE 24/7. WWE 24/7 had a charm. Like, you know what it was? Like, I used to run through the content. I used to watch all the month's content and then have to sit there and wait for the update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
next
you
month.
didn't get it all at once. You had to wait for it, and that's
But
kind of what added
it
to
was.
The
It
thing
was
is, like,
so-
some of that stuff was not meant to be consumed the way it was. Like, here's one episode of Jim Crockett Promotions. You want the next one?
Yeah,
Too
I'm
fucking
waiting.
bad.
It was so.
I'm
that was a
waiting
fun way to
4
do it,
weeks
though.
for the next one. You know what they would do? They would upload a document, a roundtable. They would do Monday Night War, but
Roundtable
it
was
wasn't
so
a documentary. Monday Night War was just an episode of Raw
episodes.
and an episode of Nitro stitched. I don't know if they were stitched together or you had to click them. Or they would just upload them side by side and you
No, they
just
were-
watch
yeah, they
them
were-
separately.
Yeah.
But
You just hope
I
for
would
a good
watch-
cruiserweight match.
That was how I watched the Monday Night Wars after. Like, it was episodes of Nitro and Raw that were from before my time. I would just watch
Oh,
them
yeah.
on 24/7
That was
and
the way to
eat
get
them
through it.
all up.
That was
One of my favorite things when me and John actually started like getting along and learning about each other. John was the first person I had met in my wrestling fandom who only knows ECW as a tale.
Yeah, it's a story to me. It's a history lesson.
ECW is in the same vein as like World Class and the NWA. And, like,
Well, it ain't that bad. Like, they was fucking when I
mean,
started
in the sense that
watching
it was already dead by the time you'd come around.
Oh, yeah, it was dead, and the only reason I got into it was because of the rise and fall of ECW, the documentary. I don't know why I even
was a whole-
watched it. I'm sure the commercials were like really good. I was like, well, here we go. That shit was like 3
And
hours
probably
long.
because you
And-
just like you probably just like, yo, what is this wild clip of some shit Rob Van Dam is doing? I see him on TV all the time.
It was awesome. It was fascinating. I didn't know anything about outside of WWE wrestling. I think ECW
Oh, yeah.
was probably like the first, and I was like, wow, what is the barbed wire death match? What the
Yeah.
fuck? Yeah, I think I was
caught it.
captivated.
I caught it.
became
in
like
its
my
last
favorite,
year
though.
of live broadcasting.
I wish. I can't even imagine. I got to see it live once that I only know in hindsight because there's nothing else that it could have been. It's just my
Right.
father finding public access like a cage match and some wild shit that he's like, this is real. This shit gotta be real. So
You could've
years
found
later, I was
USA
like,
You could have found
yeah, that's
USA
probably
Pro.
ECW.
Channel surfing and stumbling upon wrestling shows is such an amazing feeling. I've done that so many times. I would be like channel surfing like on a weekend, like during the summer vacation, and I all of a sudden stumble upon ESPN Classic.
Yes,
They are showing classic. I'm
world
like,
class.
yeah, world class. They
No,
have some other ones too.
usually AWA.
Yeah. They have world class, I
Okay.
believe, too, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were playing world class definitely because
Okay,
they
I've
used to
only
give it in
seen
the
them
middle of
play
the night.
AWA then.
They used to give it in the middle of the night, but you might have to Google it. But
Maybe.
for sure,
Maybe.
ESPN Classic.
Did you ever discover IWA Puerto Rico?
Not on TV.
Ooh.
I wish.
I
That's
saw it on
something You think
TV.
they should in the Bronx?
That
They were
was on
playing that
TV?
shit in the
Yeah.
Bronx. What the fuck?
Yeah. I
Get
found it
out of
on
here.
I found it on a late night on a cable channel somewhere, and like I would tape episodes of it, and like that's when I first. What was the biggest revelation to me? That's why I found out where David Flair was after the WWE run didn't pan out,
Oh shit.
and David
found
Flair
David.
had actually gotten to a point where he was actually kind of decent.
That's
I didn't know
I
that
watched-
happened.
David
I
Flair
guess
gets in the
it
same
did.
sentence.
At least to me, I watched the match. I was just like, "Oh, David finally started figuring it the fuck out." But then, like, he retired,
And then we lost him.
And
He's
then
gone for.
fuck
which
no,
tells you how
no.
long it takes to get decent at this.
And then,
Is he
and
still
then
wrestling? Where is he now?
No, he's just
I don't
in
know.
civilian life.
you would think that would be like a bigger deal if he was still wrestling. Someone
The
would bring
David
that up.
Flair comeback show, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like those Flairs will wrestle forever.
Rick showing up next to him.
Oh, dude,
dude.
do you know how much money Joey Janela would have put into a David Flair match?
Please don't.
You
Get me
know it's
started.
true.
Do you
know
guys
it's true.
remember? I pulled out that WrestleMania 23. Remember in that era too, they did something for like
Have we discussed
every
anything on the
WrestleMania
format
that
yet?
no, any WrestleMania that came out with like a number 7 attached to the year, because at the same time as they released 23, they also had DVDs for 3 and 13.
Did they?
I got the
For
one for 3.
WrestleMania,
13 was
I
rare.
didn't know they came out with other because my mom got me the WrestleMania anthology.
The box set, right?
So the box set. So I never looked back for other WrestleManias on DVD because I
makes
had them bitches.
Yeah, because I remember I went to this tells you how long ago it was. I went to Kmart and they had the WrestleMania 23, and then they also had 13 was out. That one was so rare. It's hard to find. But yeah, they had them like individual, like it's just like its own like disc with its own case and everything. I have that right
That's
next to the
insane.
anthologies.
I never saw that. I never knew that. But I didn't get my DVDs from any real store. It was like a small mom and pop video game store. They used to give them to me. They used to give them to me 2 weeks early. So I would get every single pay-per-view. I'd get it 2 weeks after the pay-per-view aired, and I'd have to watch it on DVD because my mother.
Oh no, you lost him in the story. He is thinking too hard about it.
I used to get my DVDs from an FYE that was near my my high school.
FYE.
Yes,
bro.
which used to be a Coconuts.
Oh, it's Murder Circuit City.
Oh my
Yes.
God! Hello.
Back from
I
Planet
didn't
Namek.
buy anything. FBI told me not to talk about it. Facebook really hates me. It's all right. It's all right. It's my fault. I keep hitting the button on this damn mouse. That is stupid back button on the side. Anyway,
WrestleMania weekend's gonna be interesting for me because I have to navigate. Probably watching a little bit of the first night before I go to work, and then trying to maintain some semblance of radio silence for night one, so I can not be completely wrecked when it comes to watching it the next day.
We're singing a Greg. Listen, it's gonna be great. We're actually not to have to plug anything, but Nick, you'll be with me this weekend, won't you?
All right, see you. I will.
Greg will be on Sunday night.
I will
try.
Are
you able to make it?
I will try.
Yeah,
I still don't know what our plans are, but
I'll be on both nights.
Max says he'll be on Sunday.
Okay.
We'll see. A lot of people say there'll be things come up. It's not their fault. It's just life. But I don't want to be like, these are the people that are coming because they're not being paid, so they might not make it.
I'll make it.
We'll
but
see
I
what
know
happens.
Nick will be there.
I don't know if I'll
you'll
be home.
there, buddy.
I don't know if I'll be home. If I am, I'll be on immediately. If I'm not home, I'll try to just jump on when I get back.
Come in the stream midway. Just watch the presser for us.
No.
Any thoughts on the 6-pack ladder match? Asks Sazid. If I didn't pronounce that right,
some people are gonna die.
That's gonna be wild, but it's not. I'm wondering if because there had been a rumor that they were thinking about replacing Austin Theory and Grayson Waller in a match, and then they got into a work feud with Joey Swole, the TikTok guy, and now he's coming to WrestleMania to ruin their career. So I kind of wonder if he's gonna screw them out of the 6-pack ladder match, and they're gonna get replaced by somebody. It won't be the Motor City Machine Guns. Sorry about that, fellas. I think they are headed to Jacksonville. But I don't know. Could be the Hardys. No, they're definitely not available. But who knows? Could be the Dudleys. Dudley boys. They're in Philadelphia.
Isn't only
ECW.
one technically a free agent at the moment?
Oh,
Matt? Boys are signed to a Legends deal.
Well, one. I think Matt is still in AEW.
His contract is still active, but it's coming closer to its end.
Yeah.
Well, isn't only one of them not in the company right now?
No, they're both in the company.
Both in there.
Are they both? Okay, well, fuck it.
They ain't going no fucking where, buddy. No.
At least not this month.
Anyway, shit. The 6-pack ladder match is going to be fun because there's a lot of
Fellas,
people in that match
wild
who've never
card.
been at WrestleMania.
Wild card.
Right.
Another tag team is signed to a Legends deal. Just remember the Headbangers.
Oh, they're not coming out in the ladder match.
Could you imagine?
Oh shit! They just don't do anything.
They just do
What
like,
did they
we're
come
not-
out for?
That is a deep cut for most people.
The entrance. That's all they're here for. It should be an interesting match, to say the least. Do I have the card? I have the card in front of me, and I didn't upload the graphic. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. Oh shit. Anyway, I'll pull up the card. If you guys can remember any other parts of WrestleMania week that you want to talk about, well, I'll pull up the WrestleMania card. You feel free to do so.
Nick, how are you feeling about Stand and Deliver?
It truly is one of the NXT shows of all time. I need to
Oh.
look at the card.
I guess I'm the most qualified person to talk about the fucking Stand and Deliver show, ain't I? Which
sorry,
night
yeah.
is John Cena scheduled in? Any clue? Well, since
Neither of them.
Both.
he's not scheduled for any night, but he's rumored to appear at the show. He's got no night. There's no night yet. I would guess maybe if there's bloodline rules or whatever the fuck, maybe night 2 WrestleMania they help Cody win, but that would kind of stink. Like, I think Cody shouldn't be helped to win.
They
That
did have
kinda-
that foreshadow moment though.
Yeah, where he's beating Cody's ass, but it was a foreshadowing for The Rock, so
Yep.
it might be a night 1 thing.
Sure.
They come out at night 1 while The Rock is actually wrestling and get involved with him, or they can come out at night 2 and they can prevent The Rock from, I guess, doing anything, which kind of sets a bad precedent. Though then it's like the idea is like only wrestlers from the past can stand to The Rock.
Sure.
Like,
I
so-
think I think you have to be very careful with like I think there's something to be done with, assisting Cody in the sense of like the bloodline problem, but not helping him win. You've got to just not impede Roman. You have to impede everybody else.
It's that like kind of Dusty Rhodes type of balancing act that you have.
Yeah.
It's-
You
if I-
can't get in. You can't. Oh, say yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you can't interfere with Roman and Cody, but you have to keep everyone else out the way.
Exactly. You gotta
If
take
I'm
on, you
doing
can't
it-
attack Flair. You gotta attack the rest of the horsemen.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, exactly. That's how I was gonna say. If I'm doing it, they come out. They're preventing the interference. They're out there fighting
Yes.
each other. You know what I mean? And it's cool as fuck too. You get all these cool ass moments, and Austin stares down The Rock in the middle of the ring, and I'll fucking piss and shit myself. That's a
You gotta
crazy
do it like
ass
the old
moment.
'90s, the old '90s stand-in where they had Chuck Norris just stand at the aisleway, and they were like, "Oh shit, we ain't fucking with that guy."
Listen, I want that Rock. I want to see maybe I don't think I need the Roman Cody match to be this straight up thing either though. Like I just need the finish to be clean enough that it feels like Cody did it on his
That it
own.
feels like he did the thing.
But
Yeah.
before that, I want this shit to be outrageous. I need this
You want some
overbooked
Russo level
madness.
overbooking.
I need 67 run-ins. I need a fucking. I want Cody's mother to come in, the dog, fucking Ava
Sure.
Rain, the baby Pebble, the fucking
Oh my god.
all the fucking Samoans, Alpha, Sika, fucking
Joey
Yokozuna's
Samoa.
ghost. I want Yokozuna's ghost to fight Dusty Rhodes' fucking ghost for a second. I need it all. I need it all.
Every wrestler in WWE history comes out to fight that culminates in this end of this epic battle.
It's a fucking Avengers Endgame portal scene with every dead WWE champion to help Cody vanquish the fucking bloodline. I need this shit. I need it.
Oh, just imagine all the callbacks in there. The ghost of Dusty like lowers down and like force pushes
Oh
away
my
all
God.
the horsemen, looks over and gives an affirmative nod to Cody as Cody ends it.
Oh shit. No, they should do callbacks to the whole bloodline thing. They can do a spot where Roman gets handcuffed in the corner and gets stuck and they can't get him out for much longer than we're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Is it 10? I swear it's 10. No, it's not. Shit. Anyway, I got the cards up. So night
He
1.
gets stuck so long that John feels like he's watching the freaking Rock and Austin showcase scene.
Oh, fuck you and that whole showcase. Honestly, some of those fucking scenes in the WWE 24 showcase are like the worst. You're supposed to play a match and then cut to cutscene and then cut back to match. You'll play like it'll actually just to do two objectives, like do an Irish whip. And now we cut through a 5-minute cutscene of two wrestlers double selling, knockout. We're just laying here. What the fuck? I don't want to get into it.
Most of them aren't that bad, but some of them are egregious.
Fuck you. You're lying. There's a lot of bad ones. As a matter of fact, WrestleMania 17, you just watch Austin and The Rock. And
that one is egregious. That one is really
inferior
bad.
version of the match.
To the point that I've warned you about it.
It's not. It doesn't have real crowd noise. Corey Graves is doing the commentary. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to talk about it anymore. That's a trauma.
No, man.
I got the cards up for WrestleMania.
Let's get it.
Night 1. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. I have it. Oh, I mean, I can. I forgot I can do that. I can share my screen. Incredible stuff. Look at this plug for the Dershi Radio Comic Book Click website.
Oh,
incredible. Look how pretty it is. Wow. What's that?
What's the link, John?
The Dershi Radio section. comicbookclick.com/Dershi Radio. What is that? What's going on? What is this place?
Crazy.
Incredible. Where are we here for? We're here for some wrestling news. Let's go to the wrestling news section.
Professionals.
And then we're here to find where is it? Oh, the WrestleMania match cards. Oh, wow. Look at this fucking beautifully formatted website. Whoever made this, kudos.
Sir.
There it is.
A mess all over the keyboard.
There they are. Night 1. You can't read them, but we can. Oh, shit. WrestleMania.
I missed the collage of like pictures for those matches.
The Rock, they have them. But I couldn't find them in time.
Yeah.
This is what we're dealing with. The Rock and Cody Rhodes. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
Let's try to start from what we think is the beginning. Are these in order?
It's that one. Well, this is how they released them.
Okay.
This is just this is what I got from them. Yeah.
Okay.
The tag team match that came out of nowhere: Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Dom Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Probably not opening, but the first match that we have in the order of importance.
Sure.
I don't really have any big thoughts or predictions about that. I imagine the babyfaces will win.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar and probably Andrade or some form will get involved because we keep grouping all the ethnicities together. That's fine.
No issue with that.
No problem with that at all. As representation.
Yes.
Which I'm fine with. As long as we don't fall into stereotyping. I'm looking at you. Gunther versus Sami Zayn also on night 1. What are we thinking with this match? Is this the day Gunther loses? Yeah.
Better not.
I don't know. I guess I want to say no, if only because I feel like there is something worth doing with him in Berlin.
Not only that, right? But I am really weird about Sami Zayn beating Gunther after all this time.
Sami Zayn of all people.
It's not strong enough?
No, it's not strong enough at all. Honestly, it's not even close. The
only thing I can compare it to that is the only analogy I can make to that is I remember after Shawn Michaels tried so valiantly twice, it's like, oh man, it's like, who the fuck's gonna be Undertaker when Shawn failed twice?
Actually, I found out Triple H
went too high.
tweeted all the WrestleMania graphics. So.
Oh, did he?
Hey, thank you.
We'll get them. We'll get
what
there.
A champ.
We'll get there. Anyway.
I feel like too, it's like everyone looking at like, why isn't this Chad Gable?
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. And then for them to involve Chad in the story anyway, it's kind of bold. Like, are you dangling him in front of their face? Like a carrot? Dangling?
There's
Dang,
some
are you
people coming up
playing
with
with
the
his
idea.
dingling?
Oh my gosh, some people are coming up with the idea too that like Gunther will fight Chad on night 2.
I mean, so there's 7 matches announced for night 1 and 6 for night 2, and that makes me think that there's going to be an impromptu thing.
Sure.
But it also,
Do you want the graphics, John?
yeah, no, I have to I have them. Like I've got all the day ones, and now I'm uploading them as we
Okay.
speak. Here for Nick content. Mac has been begging for you for like 2 weeks. He is so happy to see
Oh
you, Nick.
man, how's it going, Mac? You're gonna be really sad when I leave soon to go to sleep.
I have all the night 1 graphics, but again, they take a second. Fucking, what's the match after that? You go ahead and take this, guys,
Fellas,
fellas, friends, bros.
we have the 6-pack ladder match. Did we go over who's all in that?
No.
No.
Oh man, there's a good chunk of people in here. You got the New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, A-Town Down Under, potentially Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. You got the New Day, of course, Kofi Kingston, perpetual ladder match competitor, and Xavier Woods. Awesome Truth, Miz and R-Truth. R-Truth, he's got acrophobia. And make sure you remember hashtag DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest.
Are we at the point
Yes.
where we have to say hashtag it now?
Yes.
Oh,
They are
God.
hashtag DIY, do it
God help
yourself,
us all.
which is weird because they're 2 people. So,
Right.
all right, cool.
Hashtag
Shit.
Browns, DIY.
It'll be an interesting match. The Jade, Bianca, Naomi, the girls. That's gonna be great.
The
I'm gonna pull 'em
girls.
out. Oops, that's not them. They look funny here. Yeah. Boom. Asuka's about to take her 6th WrestleMania loss in a row.
No, don't say that.
I swear she's got a defeated streak. She's
Yeah.
got a defeated streak going. It's crazy she got the reverse Undertaker going on when she came in as Goldberg. But
She's
I mean,
rocking- what is it, the Santana?
she been I mean, that doesn't change how strong she's been booked all this time, but shit.
But we'll still make fun of it.
It's so sad to hear her talk about. But man, we were talking about where's Jade? Why isn't she in this WrestleMania build?
There
And
we
I'm
go.
not gonna lie, this kind of felt thrown together, but you know what? Fuck it. Because it's so weird. Like they weren't involved in this at all until the last 2 weeks. This has been going on for a long time. Okay, cool. Jade's been here for 9 fucking months, but fine. What's 3 weeks of build to WrestleMania? No problem.
The only one I remember her having anything to do with was in the Rumble dealing with Bailey, who's not even in Damage Control anymore.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. After that, we have the bro versus bro, Jimmy Uso versus Jay Uso for the rights to the Yeet. They really got them in a Yeet and no Yeet shirt. What happened here? This could have been one of the most highly anticipated matches on the show. It feels like just another match on the card now.
I think they just went too far with the joke.
Yeet.
Yeah.
That's their WWE for you.
No, that's exactly what it was. They went full WWE with it, and then it became lame instead of like, oh wow, this is going to be like a great epic battle between like 2 brothers. It's not going to have that same vibe that we had with Brett and Owen.
No, like I think they took whatever biting emotional seriousness that could have been about like these 2 brothers brawling with each other. It got trapped into t-shirts.
Yep.
Yeah. It also, they didn't get into the Jimmy versus Jay of it at all. I think they cut like 1 or 2 promos against each other, and then the rest of it was
they only recently cut like the one money promo, right?
Yeah, just 1, and then any other time they had interactions with each other, it was like in the middle of some other shit going on at the Royal Rumble during a brawl that doesn't have anything to really do with them. They brawl each other off into the side.
It's just a Roman bloodline segment that they're all involved in.
And they don't even get any shine. They don't even get to speak to each other. They just fight off into the sunset together.
Yeah.
It's kind of trash.
You know what doesn't help? What doesn't help is like the fact that the time they could have been spent building like this whole thing with these two brothers and this big emotional thing about like brothers fighting. They've spent weeks on Jey Uso looking like a clown.
He has been losing a lot. It's actually quite sad.
Yeah, like losing and basically like getting ignored by Roman, getting ignored by Heyman, like just clowning him.
Oh, you're talking about Jimmy. I thought you were talking
Sorry,
about
Jimmy. Yeah,
main event Jey Uso, who has also been on a bit of a losing streak.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Jey Uso.
Finally, we got Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. What do you guys think about this match right here?
it makes sense. It's
yeah, I agree.
Zippy it's top woman shit right there, right?
Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. I think it's funny as hell. They had that lame ass brawl on Ariel Helwani's fucking thing. And I was like, this kind of stinks. What is it about it? I don't know what it was. I don't know who to blame.
It was okay. you like didn't know what it was about. I was like, well, apparently it was about the kid.
No. I don't know who to blame for the fact that it stunk. Because somebody. I guess it doesn't help that they didn't have any time to get to where they are, and now they're trying to manufacture it by making it personal. And it's not even like personal. Like Ripley hasn't even said anything that I'm like, whoa. It's like she'll be like, Becky Lynch should stay home with her kid. Don't mention my kid. Don't mention my kid. But she didn't even like. If Rhea Ripley was like, and keep your ugly ass baby in the house, then I'll be like, oh shit, it's hot. Kill that bitch, Becky. She's talking about your baby.
Yeah.
But it's not even.
Hey, maybe maternity leave.
Like it ain't even a thing. Like this is fucking nothing. It's nothing. It's cold. So I'm glad that you're both so cool and they're both so popular and everybody loves both of them, so that you can still have a lot of crowd investment in this match because the story ain't doing it.
Yeah.
And of course,
it's nice to know that you have like enough charisma to just carry something cold like that.
That is true. Becky had dipped into a little bit of real heat they could have used, where Rhea Ripley went viral for like doing the stink face, booty? And Becky mentioned that's taking us back. We need to get away from that. They could have used that. That could have been real heat, because that's like a real conversation you can have outside of the show, and but whatever. I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna expect too much. Whatever. The fucking main event.
They don't have the nuanced powers for that.
And I don't think they ever will. Yeah, this is as good as it gets. Might as well take it. Roman and The Rock, the Bloodline versus Cody and Seth Rollins.
Damn, did we go through all of night one already?
That is all of night one, sir. They are Cody and Rollins are so cute. They bought matching Rolexes. You guys. It's going to be a fun match, I think. It's going to be a lot of fucking shenanigans and bullshit, and I can't believe this happened this way. It's night one. Night two is the next night. Dwayne's coming in with this Hollywood. We got to leave him with a cliffhanger. We got to connect it to the next night, So, like, it's going to end on some bullshit. I know everybody's going to be mad as fuck. It's going to be hilarious because, the next night they're going to give you what you want. But I know it's going to end on some real bullshit.
Crazy stuff, too. Honestly, I could see this 100% also being very overbooked.
I need it. I want it. There's no reason for it. It shouldn't even have. It should have had a stipulation or something. But I guess the next night is going to have bloodline rules, so that's fine.
Yeah,
but, this is the match that decides the stipulation for the next one.
Well, yeah. If one were to hazard a guess, like I feel like Rock and Roman have to win this one, because like if the point is to come back with Rock and Roman next year, there's no point in having Rock lose 2 in a row.
We did not only that, but it's kind of weird to imagine like The Rock and Roman's gonna lose twice in a row after all this time. Roman's gonna lose twice in a row like that,
right? Because you can't you can't fathom either one of them being pinned because of future. It's point.
It's fine though. Like I don't really have an issue with that part. Like I think that's the way to do it. You just gotta. They should be not only that. They should pin Cody. They should pin Cody specifically.
Woof.
I think
That'd be fun. Have Roman
bust his
pin
ass.
Cody.
Well, no. Here's the thing.
But
Right?
also
In
the
this
whole
weird,
point is okay.
but in this weird reverse, I don't know way. Like Cody is probably the only guy in the match who can get pinned and be okay. Rollins
to a degree, yes.
can't get fucking pinned. Rollins cannot afford that pin. He already doesn't belong here. Like who invited this guy?
Not only does he not belong here, but we need to create some semblance of belief that he might beat Drew McIntyre the next day.
No, that's exactly
I imagine they would brawl each other off into the sunset, and then Cody gets killed by.
You can see Drew getting involved in some way too.
He has to too, because like I mean, but he could always play it off like, I want nothing to do with that shit. I wanted to win the title, and then I did.
So I want to point out if what I looked at was true, I also do love the framing that fucking poor Seth Rollins has to main event night 1 and open night 2.
Ooh.
So like, not only does Seth Rollins need to win this match, but he will have the least amount of rest time from a big main event match to defending his belt against a bad motherfucker who is fresh as a daisy.
Why would they do that to him?
Because they are
right. I don't know who. It might have been Meltzer who reported like the match order. I think I was listening to the Observer and he might have went over it. I don't remember, but you're absolutely right. I think Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley are supposed to open the first night, but something like that.
If anyone's got the cardio and stamina to do it, though, it's Seth.
Seth freaking Rollins.
That's interesting.
Zero.
So that's night 1 of the show.
I would have went with either of the two, like either the car crash or the cruiserweight match for the hot open.
Dusty motherfucker only uploaded the matches for night 1. You big nose bitch.
No, he has Bailey and EO. That's night 2.
Where is it?
I think you should see
the
feed, dog.
I get it. No, you know what it is? They're like in a thread.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't label them because he's old.
I don't understand how this works.
Yeah, could you do this for me? I told you, let the fucking social media boy do it. I could do it myself.
I need to learn this.
We can go over the matches though while I get these fucking graphics.
God damn it,
you guys
Steph.
go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
Talked about it. Opens the show. We got the world heavyweight title. Champion Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
There's no other answer to this than Drew walks out with the belt. There's no other answer to this.
He's so at the perfect point in his career to be champion again.
Yeah.
And it's over as fuck is the term, I believe.
Poor Seth taking 2 losses in a row at WrestleMania.
Also,
but also like losing to a guy who was just in like a big time main event the night before. Like it's just,
if they want, they can get the belt on Punk and then lead to like a Raw thing, but I wouldn't do that. I would actually lead to McIntyre versus Gunther down the line for that belt.
And that makes sense at both Berlin and Scotland coming up.
Yeah.
Also, my thing is that because of the way Punk's, I feel like because of Cody the term is so cliche now. The thing about Punk's story.
Oh fuck! No, you can't give that to Cody. You can finish your story to Cody, but you cannot.
No, I'm not saying finish your story, but I'm saying
story.
But like
to Cody.
People have already done that.
He's taking over everything.
Fuck your story. No,
this politician.
The thing about Punk's story is that like it's still kind of about Punk quote getting to that WrestleMania spot, and I feel like you can't tell the story of him getting that spot with the belt on him.
I think that's funny as hell that he ain't getting that main event. Damn, that's fucked up. What kind of fucked up karma? Well, who did you fuck in a past life that put a curse on you?
In a past life too, right?
To let you get this close. Well, you fucked a lot of people in this life, but I don't think any of them had magic powers. It had to be a past life. let you get this close. Just fucking
Sure.
taste it to the point where they put it on paper. Like, you'll be main eventing
To the
night
point where
one.
you're doing commentary for the match.
They make you watch it. Oh no!
But like the point being, yeah, if the story, if the story for Punk's journey is getting to that WrestleMania main event, the character, then it doesn't really work with the belt on him, right? Because it's like you're not striving for it. You're as long as you have the belt on, you're there to some degree.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know that Punk is gonna sniff that shit again. I don't know that there's a place for him. I guess if they do the Roman match, which they seem to be hinting
That's also very
towards.
possible. But like
They're
they're not
alluding
going to
to
do it
him in the
next year because they're
bloodline.
going to do Roman and Rock next year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So,
He'll
like-
absolutely be like in that time frame before then. I could see.
Yeah, like arguably speaking, I think you can run, despite the fact that it means probably holding it for a long time, or you can do whatever. There is a situation here where you can work with Drew McIntyre for the entire year to get Punk and Drew to main event to WrestleMania next year.
I just realized my shirt for some reason has
It's not an impossible feat. Like even as much as we've joked about it, despite the fact that like Drew was serving up this L to CM Punk that's gonna happen, it doesn't have to happen immediately.
It doesn't have to happen while he's champion either. I mean, you mentioned it yourself. We got Berlin coming up. We got Scotland coming up.
Yeah.
Gunther, Drew McIntyre. They should be in that fucking main event picture. I really want Gunther to be world champion.
I understand.
For me, Gunther is my favorite fucking wrestler in the WWE. Like,
I totally get that. I don't think there's.
He needs to.
You'd have to
champion
sacrifice a lot
tomorrow.
to find any story for them.
No, you don't. They're fucking right there. CM Punk is months away. Like, he's not even close. He's an old ass.
I'm talking
man.
about getting to WrestleMania.
Oh, to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I don't think that Drew is going to be anywhere near the title by next year's Mania.
And let's to say CM Punk's even going to not re-injure himself again by that.
Oh, sure. Listen, all sorts of things can happen along the way. Like, if we're talking about planning, you have to just try.
But if you plan, I don't see a plan for Drew McIntyre to hold this belt for that length of time.
Sure.
Or anybody. I don't know that they're gonna go back. I don't know that because they had Roman, they had Gunther. Gunther's what, 2 years, 2.5 years now.
Sure.
Jeez.
They love modernizing
but I do think the plan is Punk main eventing night one. So I guess what's in the air, yes. And I guess what's in the air at that point is either like, well, do you do Punk versus fucking Drew, or do you do Punk and Gunther?
I think you have faith in the company believing in CM Punk's dream more than like.
I think that's the story they've been telling.
I think Punk got lucky. I think Punk came back at a good time to get a great WrestleMania story that would have placed him right in the main event, and that was gonna happen. I don't know that they're gonna go out their way.
They won't stop telling.
I mean, I don't
keep mentioning it
consistently.
McIntyre's mentioning that he stopped CM Punk from going to WrestleMania. Period.
Of course,
right? Because they're not.
Punk keeps talking about getting to it.
Punk. I just don't see the company going out their way to be like, we saved this spot for you. Like, I don't see it. As a matter of fact, if you consider that Cody Rhodes is going to be the top guy by next year's WrestleMania, and Cody Rhodes won't be involved with Roman and The Rock, but Roman and The Rock are going to need a main event slot, I don't imagine Cody Rhodes is going to be in a semi-main event spot by this time next year. I think he's like the fucking guy going forward.
Getting his own night.
Certainly, but there's an option there that you may not like either.
You could do Cody versus Punk, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
if
that you can tell a really good fucking story with Cody and Punk if you had the balls.
You absolutely could.
If you had the balls, which I don't actually think.
I don't know. Okay, well, I don't think they got those balls.
I don't think they have those balls.
Sir.
But the pieces are there, sir. That
We're gonna do a lot
motherfucker.
of. There's gonna be a lot of coded messages.
Yeah.
Subtleties.
Hi. You're just like your friends. You know, like, which friends? I can't say.
Say their name.
Say their name.
I see because now you got me picturing it because now I'm like I'm actually imagining during the match that like he fucking puts Cody's hands in like the gun position and stomps on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's stepping on the elite. Well, when Cody beat Punk, I
Slow
ran with that
retelling.
shit. Because he does the fucking when Cody beat Punk and then did the Bullet Club signs to the WrestleMania thing, I was like, the elite finally beat him. It's the thing I ran with. But they can actually tell that story if they want.
Sure. Like it'd be funny. The Wolfpack side might hurt a lot more, but
if they do that match, do you think CM Punk would actually
Cody
beat
and Punk?
Cody? Yeah. Do you think Punk would win?
probably
don't
not.
know.
And I don't think that matters.
I don't think it matters to him.
Yeah.
At all. But I think
Like
he
on the
would have won
WrestleMania
this one.
stage.
I think he would have won this one
Yes.
with Seth. I think he
Yes.
would have walked out
with
as champ.
Seth. Yes, I
Yes.
do think so too.
Yeah.
I think he would have pinned Seth, and then we would have went wherever they went. I don't because Drew wasn't really in the picture at that point, was he?
He was kind of feuding with Sami
Not with
Zayn.
Punk. Yeah,
He was feuding
he?
with Sami Zayn. Yeah, they were
Okay.
because like he killed Sami Zayn, and then Sami
Was that
Zayn came back
that
at the
Sami
Royal
Zayn's loser
Rumble.
period.
Yeah,
Okay.
he even when the Cody Rock stuff started getting funny, they were still Drew McIntyre cost Sami Zayn a match against like Seth Rollins or somebody.
Okay.
And they never followed up on that shit. He just was like,
you know
all
who
right.
I remember
they left
him
something
being
going. You
That's
don't
the thing. You know who I remember him being
They never
involved
would
with?
do
I remember Drew being involved with fucking Damien.
Oh, that was that too. They were just
Yeah.
staring at each other. Oh, but then they had a random ass blow off match on Raw.
the shifts.
Or you
that
gotta
they
end it.
do.
You're going in
Fuck
different
it.
directions.
Fuck it.
What are we doing with Damian Priest, you guys? We're talking about all this stuff in the future. You've got to include Damian Priest in some of it, even if it is as a big old fail. What do we do with that? What do you
It would
think?
kind of suck if he failed after all this.
It would.
Yeah. And he fails the ladder match too.
Right. But like with so many things hinging on like the results, almost the results of this night and the few months to come, like who do you beat if you're Damian Priest?
Because that's the thing. Are they still running with
think,
the time lock too? That like you have X.
Yeah, he has to. He has to. He has
until
buy
July.
Money in the Bank.
He has
Got a
until
few more
July.
months left, and they really haven't done much to set him on
No.
the path to being that type of
It's been
champion.
forgotten.
Yeah. And it's not like the good kind of forgotten where it's like they want you to forget about it, so then it's a
So
surprise.
it's a big surprise. Yeah.
It's the type of forgotten where it's just like, oh yeah, he's got that. He's got the prop.
That's a tough situation to be in if you're Damian Priest, right? Because like you've been besieged by things that nobody expected was going to happen.
Right.
You know, they booked you to hold this briefcase way before CM Punk was a thought.
Oh, exactly. Fellas, I'm going to be taking this opportunity to say adios before we get too deep into the rest of the night. So
you have real life
have
and
a
a
good
real
night.
job.
you boys, to see you, Mac, and everyone else will be kicking it soon.
We will see you next week.
What are you doing?
I had to scan a fucking QR code.
Understood.
Anyway, that's
two
pretty
of
much
us.
most of WrestleMania right now, right?
I guess.
No, we still have some missing. we didn't talk about most of the show. We talked about Cody and we talked about Seth Rollins and McIntyre opening the show, but then we also have fucking AJ Styles versus LA Knight.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of sad.
Probably the
I'm like,
weakest
oh.
match on night 2, but
Oh.
still, I think it's one that'll be like the weakest match storyline wise and like build wise, but should be good.
I guess it depends on what. I mean, I get like the crowd is certainly going to be there for it. I'm up and down on LA Knight because he's got the most
As a wrestler?
fucking he's he's even when he was Impact, I used to say this shit all the fucking time. Eli Drake, I love Eli Drake. I used to be like, man, he's just not my kind of wrestler. It's just one of those things. He's got that very ABC style from the fucking 90s.
I like to refer to it as American Classic.
That's right. We did jump to WrestleMania 41. Greg,
we did,
a year later.
Future booking is an addiction.
Hey, we get there. That's just the way I feel. Like I don't think he's objectively bad or anything. I know, I just think like he's over as fuck, and he's got one of those movesets that works when you're over as fuck. Like if he wasn't, it'd be ass.
It's very American Classic style, you know.
Yeah, that's one way to think. Main event style, 1990s Attitude Era style.
But I mean, it's got its place. I don't think we should. I don't want to discount it in the sense that like, oh man, I've gotten so into this new modern style of really sort of, I guess, visually exciting.
Well, I personally I have other preferences from around the same era that I'll never see. I'll never see on television again because they killed all the wrestlers. They broke all their fucking necks and they all died. But no, they didn't all die. Just one. No. I just have my own style. It's not all modern shit. It's sometimes it's more rough. It's more stiff. It's more Japanese. That's just the way I like wrestling.
Sure.
But that being said, too, there are guys that wrestle
90s Dr. Death style, like Steve Williams style, just isn't going to work.
There's guys that wrestle LA Knight style and they do it better. So it ain't just that. Like there's other.
I'm curious who your references are.
Literally the people that he's cosplaying. Like I'm like fucking Austin switched his whole style to do this basic bullshit.
I've never understood the comparison.
You've never understood the comparison. Are you fucking kidding me? This guy, get the fuck out of here. The cadence, the attitude, the gimmick,
the cadence is the same American TV cadence that they all have.
Get the fuck out of here. He comes out and he literally does the Rock's gimmick. I've been saying this for a decade.
I've heard a bunch of people say it, but
this is crazy that you don't see it. I think you're blind. I think you put on blinders to it. I think you're willing to accept it.
All the stuff I've seen never reminded me of him. I never thought of them.
I always said the motherfucker was The Rock and Steve Austin. That's what's his gimmick. I am Stone Cold and The Rock.
When I was watching him on those NWA shows, the thought never came to me.
As a matter of fact, the whole reason I used to say Eli Drake was perfect for WWE was because they didn't have those guys in the roster at the time. And I was like, I'm not sure why they didn't pick him up. He'd be perfect for them. And then he started getting over just like them. And then the real Rock came around.
Sure.
It's been a little quiet. It's been a little quiet lately. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. It's fucked up. What else is on this card? The girls, Bailey versus Io Sky, should have got a main event slot somewhere. It's a damn shame we couldn't fit it in. Way too much going on. But they had probably the story on this card with the most effort, the most.
Oh yeah, they have much more going on than Rhea and freaking Becky do. Which is kind of a shame because Rhea's objectively the bigger star, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean for sure, Rhea's one of the biggest stars in the company. But at the same time, she spent most of her time getting over dealing with the men's division. You know what I mean? Like the last year, she was dealing with Judgment Day shit. It wasn't like, she wasn't fucking wrestling the girls or whatever, but it's fine.
It's not been as good, but like the Judgment Day stuff they've been doing is the closest stuff we've gotten to them doing bloodline stories for other people.
Pretty much. The Judgment Day too. But I mean, I'd argue that this Bailey Io Sky story has had just as much even if it's not like full on, put them
Not as
on every
good because
single
too many
episode,
of them
right?
don't speak English. So we
That's what it
couldn't
is.
have,
Yeah.
you
It
know,
worked out though. I thought the whole reveal, I've been speaking Japanese. I know what you're saying. All that slow burn to the eventual
yeah.
breakup, all that stuff was real good. I think if anything, it lost a little steam to the show. But still been fun. They did the segment where Io Sky did a pre-tape and Bailey jumped her in the pre-tape. That was
Mhm.
that was fun. But I expect Bailey to win here, even though I don't think she has to.
Yeah. I had a
I
friend of
don't.
uh oh man. Let me look her up for a second. Because I had a friend of mine just goes like trying to be an asshole with me. Like, they set up like a feud between the black people and the Japanese people. I'm just like, the fucking New Zealand girl is right there.
She's Japanese too now. You can't. You gotta accept it. Yeah, this match is on night 2. This night 2 is is a hot pack of ass, isn't it? You got this. You got this. At least the other 4 matches are fine. Oh, that one might be maybe.
That'll be fun. Like
This
for
though,
whatever reason, like Logan Paul is just annoyingly good.
he is. He is. Especially if they spent a lot of time. I hope they spent like 6 weeks rehearsing this fucking match, and we can have
Yeah,
some heat.
I'm pretty sure
Because Raw,
I'm pretty sure there's been a lot of talks and a lot of like working on it.
yeah, for sure.
So
And
it's
but
gonna be
before,
good. Those guys
I
know what
guess
they're
we might
doing.
as well talk about it. It's such a weird mix too. Have we ever seen Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton? Like, have we ever seen that match 1-on-1?
I can't
I'd have to cage
think
match
to
it, but
that. I'm
I
I'm
don't
gonna I'm
remember
doing
that at
that
all.
right now.
So it's an interesting mix of wrestlers here. Also, what the fuck is up with everyone's face? Why do they all
They're
look
very shiny.
shiny? Like, what is this? What is this?
Everyone's been very smoothed out and remastered and smoothed out again. The
AJ
best
looks like a Neanderthal.
I it's a hot button topic. Maybe these posters are a little AI'd.
Uh-oh. They are AI posters. No. AI touch-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably very possible. They might be real art or real photos with some like AI, buffering.
Disgusting.
Make it
Disgusting.
smooth and pretty for me. It is what it is. I I actually kind of like Night 2 more, but Night 2 is more my speed.
Yeah, I mean, you fucking defending LA Knight. You're definitely gonna love this show.
All I'm saying is I never saw the comparison. That's all I say.
That's crazy. That's the first fucking thing I ever thought of when I saw this guy. It's insane.
Never occurred to me. There is no one-on-one match on record that I see between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
That makes sense. We need to get to that fast. Get this belt off of Logan, put it on Orton or Owens, and move the fuck on. Get us to that one-on-one match. That I'd like to see.
They've been in various tags.
I guess speaking of tags, we got this piece of shit on the card. This is billed as a Philadelphia street fight, but
it could be fun. Let's hope.
That's my thing when it comes to WrestleMania. Like they push shit on the card sometimes, like a Philadelphia street fight, and it's like the most cold buffer match in between two shits you actually wanted to see that doesn't get any real meat to it.
Yeah.
No build, nothing. They put this shit on the match. They put this shit on the card like last week out of nowhere, man. Yeah. This is a bunch of shit. Bobby Lashley don't deserve to be stuck in this.
These two groups have just been beefing for months.
Karrion Kross, man, get the fuck up out of here, man.
Shout out to AOP up since like 12 getting their WrestleMania spot.
Finally, and they still didn't fucking get any better.
I liked AOP and NXT.
I liked them because they were bad at wrestling, but I liked them because they weren't like it was like they didn't get it yet. They used to do like really bad things to people and hurt them, but it was entertaining to watch. You don't need to powerbomb someone into another person's head.
Oh, I love the Super Collider though.
until they started bonking people's heads onto each other for real. I'm pretty sure they powerbombed a dude onto another dude and knocked both their heads
Yes, they
into
did.
each other.
That is a thing that did happen.
See, and that's entertaining to watch. It's fucked up as it is. Finally, though, we had the
John
big
likes
one.
to rewatch the fucking HLA 3-minute warning segment where those girls got their ribs cracked by fucking
They got the shit
Jamal.
beat out of them. Did they really get hurt?
Yes.
That's so sad. Why they manhandle those girls? They were so pretty.
Like,
anyway, oh shit.
Like they got the old the thing that happens sometimes when you overshoot the splash just a little bit, knees into the ribs.
I thought it would have happened on the Samoan drop because some of those were nasty.
No, I think it was the splash actually.
Oh shit. So the main event for night 2 of the weekend, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. This is the one, probably the one. Roman's gonna drop the belt here. Like, I know I thought it last year, but last year I definitely thought that fucking it was it. It made sense.
No, I did too.
It made
I didn't
sense.
like it, but I thought it was.
Yeah, now I'm okay with it. I'm a lot more at peace.
I'm much more
now.
okay with it now because I thought it was too. I thought it was too easy the first time.
I was just sick. I wanted to see Cody lose. I was like, just once, and they actually did it. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I still laugh watching them back. I watched the end back, and I was like, this is the fucking stupidest shit.
You just like watching the spike to the throat.
It's so stupid. It's not even. It's funny, but like it's stupid. Didn't they throw? They threw Solo out. The referee threw Solo out. And he just came back. He just came back and did it anyway. I was like, after all these years, are you telling me you could just come back out? Like, how many people got fucked because they lost their best guy? And Solo just comes back out. He got a hood on, but he's still in full wrestling gear. Who the fuck doesn't know that Solo Sikoa? Shut the fuck up. It was so dumb.
Who's there to stop him?
It's just stupid. But
like,
it was
the ref
funny.
Distracted, and then
he was turned around. But like, then what the fuck is the point of anybody ever getting thrown out? All you got to do is distract the ref, and you can just come back out. Like, just tie shoes together over here. We'll be fine. Oh God, that was dumb.
I think
funny.
I think one of the weird things about like the way wrestling is structured when it comes down to the heels getting over like that is that like there used to be this idea that the boss of the company was something of a paragon and was just like, no, this is wrong, and it's supposed to like try to keep this thing from happening.
You'll lose your job.
But now we have chaos bosses who were just like, yeah, fuck it. The bloodline interfere. That's too bad for you, dog. Good better luck next time.
Adam Pearce not doing his fucking job.
Yeah,
that's actually funny as hell because he's been blocking people on Twitter. Anybody who mentions that he's bad at being a GM, like if it's real, it's funny as hell. As he keeps dropping the ball on the free agents and storyline. Like he didn't sign Jay Cargill. He didn't sign Braun Breaker. And people were like, "Oh, Adam Pearce fucking sucks at getting free agents," and I fucking blocked him. Like, what the fuck? Nice. Shit. That's WrestleMania, though. We'll talk about the other WrestleMania weekend events as time goes on. Shit. What's the rest of the show we have to talk about today? We got a lot of shit, and I don't have my messenger open. But thankfully, Nicholas left us with these beautiful banners that help hint me towards what the fuck we're actually supposed to talk about. Okay, CM Punk strikes again.
I thought we were gonna go into the cuts first.
I guess we could talk about the cuts, but I felt like the CM Punk thing happened on the same day, and it came first, and it made the cuts even worse. Sure. It's like, why do we do this right now? You could have waited a week. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll get right into it. You got this CM Punk interview with Ariel Helwani earlier this week. It was, I mean, when they announced that he would do an interview with Ariel Helwani, I was like, oh, well, here we go. I know that Helwani doesn't like Tony Khan because of I forgot what the fuck it was. I'm pretty sure it was
I'm
because
more
Tony
curious how many
sandbagged him.
people like tuned into the MMA hour for MMA and just annoyed that that Ariel's doing this shit.
I'm pretty sure they were because it's like 2-3 days of it, and it's
Yeah.
like it's funny as hell. He brings on all these wrestlers to talk about WrestleMania, and everybody that he could, he's asking about AEW. I was like, what the fuck? He got a taste of a good quote with CM Punk, and he was just trying to get it again and again. Oh,
He's had years of that CM Punk, open door policy.
Yeah. To invite Punk on? Oh, I mean, sure, but I mean, he got the quotes that he wanted on Monday. Like he got what
Well, like I said,
wanted.
I'm saying that's also a rapport he's built with Punk for a few years. So like Punk let him into his house and they did the interviews before WrestleMania and before UFC.
That's great. I'm sure they were laughing and fucking chuckling it up and talking about what they're gonna say and all that shit. But I just thought it was really funny and transparent to see Helwani as the week went on, trying to find more, like trying to get another taste of the attention that he got on Monday with CM Punk's interview, because that interview was all over the place. It was everywhere. Probably the most attention that he's gotten in a long time. But it was funny to see him come across other people who were as receptive as fucking Punk was. Sometimes running into expert politicians like Cody, or talking to Josh Barnett, who didn't really have the worst. He was like digging. He was like, well, they played my wrong theme song. But overall, it was a positive experience. I am trying to give you what you're looking for, but I can't find anything. I'm sorry.
He's like, bro, I was there for one night. Like, I don't have much to tell you.
He's like, well, I mean, Claudio came out second, which is weird. But I was like, all right, he's got it. He's exhausted. He squeezed the sponge out. But you got the most of the juice on Monday, and I guess we can talk about the interview. Did you get to watch it at all? Eventually,
I did. It actually it passed the time for me because like I put on some Stardom and I had the Punk interview playing on the side.
So it was fairly pedestrian. I mean, even the juicy stuff wasn't anything. Like it was not. In a general sense, to talk about it in a general sense before we get into the details, it wasn't like he came to talk about anything.
It wasn't like link of quotes.
Yeah, no, I actually pulled that up. I was in time.
Cool. Okay,
I was ready. No, it wasn't like he talked. You know, when he did the Colt Cabana, like after he left WWE and he did the Colt Cabana shoot interview, he talked about all these things that you just never fucking knew, like explosive things, like. He thought he was gonna die. The Z-Pack. Make Roman look strong. What the fuck? It was explosive. It was crazy. He didn't believe that CM Punk could say these things. It led to lawsuits in the end of friendships. And I was like, this was not that. I know a lot of people are treating it like that, but it wasn't that. He came out and talked about a bunch of shit we knew already. Like, and the things that and from. The only thing he did was come at them from his perspective, and his perspective was all like, I politely. It was the way a person would tell you their perspective. Like I would tell. That's how I would describe my side too. Like, but it's the same shit we heard. We already fucking knew. So I was like, all right. I mean, I guess I mostly thought like, what was the point? But I guess.
I think in some cases it works to just like confirm things you've heard, or at least like, okay, I've heard this from whatever journalistic reporter or passer of news, and now Punk is confirming that some of those things did happen or did not happen, at least to the degree of whether or not you believe him, he is the one with the first person experience.
Yeah, it wasn't,
but in the same sense that I can say, Oh, jeez, John's gone. God damn it. Oh, man. I love when that happens, ladies and gentlemen. He should be back in a few seconds. In the same sense as I'm trying to say, as great, John's back. In the same sense that I'm trying to note, I'm noting that like when he went on the Chris Van Vliet show, like you got Mike Santana to sort of confirm the thing we had all heard, which is that they had come to an impasse on how they had both felt about the tag team.
Well, that motherfucker had a lot to say. I mean, at least his shit kind of gave us a whole lot of new information.
I didn't watch the thing.
Yeah, man, they were gonna win the tag titles. Shit.
Okay.
They were gonna win the tag titles, and his father died, and then
you finally gonna get the thing you wanted.
We almost had it, and then fucking things went bad, and he got it. He had it. Addiction and all this cool shit, man. It was a very revealing interview. All this cool shit. Addiction is cool,
man.
kid.
He talks about his addiction, all this cool shit. Wow.
They there's other things, man.
But that's what I'm saying. That's all I mean to say. That like he confirmed things that we had heard from third parties that can be unreliable.
He's like, yeah, it happened. But
yeah,
fuck you. We got they're more. I thought some of the more interesting things were when he talked about his WWE return, kind of the fact that he didn't even know if he was going to be coming back when WWE was doing those hints, or Nick Khan being like, you should have fucking told me the day after you got fired that you didn't have a non-compete clause. Like we'd have had you in ASAP. Or the fact that they wanted him for a Royal Rumble appearance, but they ended up thinking Chicago was the better choice. These are the things I like to hear about. I thought the AEW thing was fucking ridiculous. It was fun. It was mostly because it was like in any other fucking as a fan of the company who already knows how Ariel Helwani's relationship is with it. It felt like a coordinated effort. Like, oh yeah,
I guess. I don't know.
Oh God, I was talking. Oh, I see. This is the CM Punk thing. They get my fucking mic. I see what the fuck is happening. And then I'll tell you about this CM Punk. He's got this bully campaign. No, let me fix my wire there. You can talk to people for a second.
I don't know what to say to that other than like, yeah, you were gonna get the answers you were gonna get from his perspective. I don't think the other guys are gonna talk. So, maybe this is all we ever get, but I think there was something to be said just for like it being interesting to hear his perspective on working with Tony Khan and some of the other things that had gotten involved. But like there's only so much water you can squeeze from that stone. And it's still not. John is still having some audio difficulty.
I forgot to unmute myself this time.
Okay.
I guess because there's two parts to this. I want to come at this two ways. First, I want to come at it objectively, as just a person tries to understand all sides, all things, because it's more interesting that way.
Perspective is, good.
I can see wanting to clear things up, right? If anything out there was like, if I felt like there's things out there right now about me that I don't like, I need to address them and clear them up right now. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. That would be a thing that I wouldn't even question twice. I didn't feel like this interview cleared any of it. Like there was nothing in this interview that I thought, yeah, man, that was right. That certainly changed the way the story was. All he did was repeat a bunch of fucking talking points that you hear on the internet every fucking day. From my perspective, I'm going to tell you something that you already know. Thanks. Fucking thanks. I can't even find. I can't. I can't even find objectively a reason beyond like I got my job. Like it's WrestleMania week. WWE booked me for Ariel Helwani. These are the things we want to talk about. Fine, it's your job. It happened. I can't fault someone to go for
Although
going out there and doing their
I think he
job.
probably would have spoke to Ariel Helwani either way.
Yeah, like I'm sure, but it was like Helwani had WWE stars booked. They did an angle on the show later. Like it was clearly like a WWE booked appearance, and I'm sure like being the way CM Punk is, he's just gonna answer the questions because much like myself, the guy can only say what's on his mind.
Yeah.
Not capable of saying anything else. Understandable. I am also like that. It just felt so weird as a CM like I got my issues with CM Punk, but when I liked CM Punk, I fucking liked CM Punk. I liked CM Punk for a lot of the reasons most people liked him back then. He felt like he was a man against the machine. He would say these things that you could not say in this fucking conglomerate of that was WWE. It was like he called himself the voice of the voiceless because he was speaking for the little guy. It's so fucking weird to hear him sit up there and all this. I'm home. I love this place. That place is not a business. They do it to have good matches, not for the money. Oh, you, sir, you're a businessman now. You're Mr. Capitalism. I see. It's crazy to me. It feels backwards. It feels nasty. I'm like, you were the guy. You were the dude. You used to fight the machine. Now passion is a foreign concept to this man. I was like, I can't. Let me find this quote. The quote. It was that kind of shit. Like, I already don't like CM Punk. Okay, as a character, I don't know this guy as a person in real life. I'm sure he's interesting, and I don't even know as much as like a television character. I mean, as much as like his dealings with the business that I've heard about on a peripheral level. I don't like the things that I've heard. I don't know if that's him as a person. I don't like the things that I've heard.
It's hard to say, and like I think the point is if you're doing it right, it should be.
I guess that if I actually believed what he was saying, that fine. But I don't believe that. I believe that was just taking a talking point you already heard that everybody else is fucking saying and giving it credence by saying it yourself in a fucking calculated manner. That's just taking your fucking. It's the same as saying the fucking shouting out the fucking Jim Cornette podcast on Raw. Max Burns says if there's anybody that is conflicted on their opinion on Philip, it's definitely me. You can chronicle my IG. 1 minute I hate him, the next minute I love him. He's a very mentally abusive man. If you're a fan of CM Punk and a fan of AEW right now, I feel sorry for you because it's a weird place to be. He's positioned it to where I don't think CM Punk fans the AEW is the enemy now to people that are real big CM Punk fans. And there's a lot of them. Those are the same people that chanted his name for 7 years.
Sure. I don't fall into that camp particularly. Some of the things he said lined up with assessments I'd already had about Tony Khan's like position in the company. In the sense that like I don't know if it was always that way, but I feel like Tony Khan has definitely struggled with some real leadership. And that certainly there was certainly some confirmation bias going on with some of the stuff I heard there.
I think we had talked about it before. We had said he should get an enforcer and things like that. We had said it on the show.
Yes, well, yeah, we've said it several times that like Tony Khan. From our perspective, Tony Khan can't make the hard decisions.
You see, but you know how funny it is coming from the guy he was being nice to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Tony Khan's too nice of a boss. You fucking cocksucker! It was you he was being nice to. It was you he should have fired at the fucking press conference. You're absolutely right. What is you that you're talking about? Sure. It fucking feels disgusting to me. It's hard to stomach. It's one of those things where it's like, making a good point. You've made because he made a couple points that I agree with, especially about AEW. But it just felt so fucking nasty.
But
really did.
I think to some degree he also agrees with that because he told him he should have fired. Like it wasn't a thing he also says too. Like he said, like,
I would have fired this man. I would have fired him. The press conference.
But doesn't he also make the point? Doesn't he also say, "Just fire me. This isn't working"? And Tony Khan was the one that held on to him.
Yeah, the collision thing. That's what I'm literally saying. It was you. Yeah. He was being nice to. It's you. I'll give you a fucking show, you stupid piece of shit. You're trying to get yourself fired from here, and I'm.
But he's trying to be nice to everyone.
No, but there are some people that he was trying to be nice to more than others, particularly CM Punk. As trying to be nice to CM Punk in the beginning is what got us all into this situation in the first place. The Colt Cabana thing is in fucking Tony Khan trying to accommodate CM Punk, and I still believe it was without asking, and maybe trying to make a move on his own, just because Punk is so adamant that he did.
If one is to argue that there is any connection between Colt Cabana suddenly not being booked on TV and CM Punk, it is probably without any CM Punk interference or involvement.
That's just me hoping Honestly, that's just me hoping, because in the same interview with Ariel Helwani, Punk says Colt Cabana came up to him and said, "I want to hash this out so that things aren't weird between us." And Punk told him to his face, "I don't want to speak to you unless there's a lawyer around me."
Sure.
I don't fucking believe this guy was I don't know that I could believe 100% that he didn't even imply that he didn't want to be around Colt Cabana, around the boss. I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt that Tony Khan seems like such a nice guy that he would make the move on his own, based off something he heard.
Which we all agree was the wrong move.
Which was the wrong move. I mean, hello.
It caused a whole problem that then Tony Khan should have dealt with.
I laughed too. The lawyer thing actually made me laugh. Someone else made a good point about that. Like, I now I know, because it was always so weird to me. Like, why would the fucking Young Bucks not want to work? Like, what would this lawyer thing be? Like, why would they do this? They must have really been angry over that chair to the head. Colt Cabana told them about the lawyer thing. They held on to that lawyer thing. And when it came time to have a conversation, "I just want to talk to the guys and we can work something out," they hit him with the fucking lawyer line that he hit Colt Cabana with. "I don't want to talk to him unless there's a lawyer around me." This whole shit could have been fucking solved if this fucking piece of shit if this fucking guy would have spoken to fucking Colt Cabana in that hallway on that day, just to say,
but they're legal issues like before they got there,
just to say, "We don't have to talk anymore." Like, just to say, "Okay, I understand we work here, but we don't have to be friends or even have a relationship. We just work here." Like, that's it. Life would have been so different now. But I wanted to attack. That's just like that's just a general conversation. Speaking on feelings and whims. Yeah. I have the actual quotes here. And there was some interesting stuff, particularly the AEW stuff is the stuff everybody wanted to talk about. He got into some other interesting things. He got into a lot of, WWE is great now. Backstage environment is different. He talked about Vince McMahon. He talked about Vince McMahon a lot.
I don't think he named. I don't remember if he names who says it, but he mentions that somebody else told him that the locker room atmosphere was the thing he was trying to create.
He didn't. I don't think he said who said it. Yeah,
I don't think he named him.
Yeah, it could be Randy though. They were kind of
maybe
implied.
I haven't watched that video where they apparently are like chummy now.
They kind of implied that he spoke to them like, "Hey, bro, you need to come back home, man. You did this, bro." And it's just the fucking corniest shit I ever fucking seen.
But it might be
I
true.
could never get it. I'm never gonna be able to accept that as a as like a real thing. Like
Why?
you this man built this fucking he built an empire of his own on the idea that this company was evil and tried to kill him.
Sure.
To run, talk about how home he is and how much I love it and they fucking treat me so well. It is the fucking ugliest shit I've ever seen. It feels so nasty. I can't
Sure.
accept this. It's
But I also,
disgusting. It tastes like ass.
I also know that you are like, you are scorched earth, and when and like there's no coming back from that.
Fuck this guy. I gave him an opportunity.
Not even him. I'm not
fucking,
even saying with Punk. I'm saying with like with anybody that you have that cross with. Like there is no returning to that.
it's Bill. It's kind of how I am. I don't really like the idea of forgiveness.
Yeah, or
But
reconciliation or any of that bullshit.
I can't betray myself like that. I would never betray myself like that. Me and my strong feelings, we have a great relationship. I don't let go of them. See, like I can't even like I've been in therapy.
Strong grudges,
okay,
and your
I've
grudges
gone to
last forever.
therapy. You understand? Like I've spoken about this with paid professionals. Okay?
Yes.
We have agreed that it is just not wired within me. It's not in there. There's no place of, well, you see, you have to let go. Anything that I have to let go of, I I probably won't. I probably won't even be aware of. Like, am I saying that he's wrong for feeling this way? No, absolutely not. The guy had severe fucking trauma. I think he even mentioned it in the interview. Like, these were probably reactions to my childhood trauma. You know how fucking he's fucking trauma dumping on us. But I had said it before. So if these are cathartic moments that he needs to heal and move on in his life,
sure,
that's great for him.
and that's what,
it feels like shit.
Sometimes, like sometimes those things sometimes those things you get through and grow through change the situation and change your perspective. Sometimes it means a lot that like maybe the people that were there when that place was toxic to you aren't there anymore, and now it's technically a different place. Like if you went back to that old comic book job and it's just the bosses are different and the coworkers are different, like maybe you don't have the old issues you have there now.
I'm sure. Like it is a different place now, especially with Vince gone. It's almost
and
a whole
seemingly
different
completely different locker room attitude.
Seemingly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's not
funny
like
to me, which is funny to it was just funny to me because like the locker room attitude Punk talks about is a locker room attitude that like Austin used to talk about, and Austin's like that fucking attitude is there isn't the same as when I was there.
Yeah. I mean, it 100% the locker room, the environment, the culture has changed. And that's why that's why I'm not like, I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing that he went back. It's not a bad thing that he went back or that he even feels that way. Like I said, it's an ugly thing to watch. It's like, ooh, nice.
It's something that grates up against you because you could never.
I would never. I have no way. I don't even imagine. Like some people, like it's like, well, I feel strongly about it, but deep down, I wish I can find that.
I wonder sometimes.
No, I don't even wonder. I am happy.
When you burn that bridge, you don't rebuild it.
It satisfies me to watch it stay burned, to look back on the debris and just know that it will never be built again. The Jack Perry thing he got into in depth.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about how
apparently there was a reference to Jack Perry tonight.
There was. The Matt Jackson screamed into the camera. He's like, "Scapegoat, we love your work." I
didn't know how to take that.
There's ways to take it. I love Jack Perry's work as well. He's done a lot of great things. I heard he cured cancer.
Oh, Jesus.
There's a quote where he talks about Jack Perry and he says Tony's big idea was a separate show. We're gonna separate everybody. I said that would never work. Just let me go. Who cares? It's best. These guys don't want me here. This isn't a real business. This isn't a business predicated on making money, drawing money, selling tickets. It's not what it was sold to me as. Let me go. This quote right here confirmed to me what I had been saying on this show for weeks. When Punk went to that show, when Punk went to that WWE show backstage, he already wanted out. He wanted out. He's feeling around. He wanted to be there. That's where he wanted to be. I said that shit when it fucking happened.
So
And
you don't
probably
buy the
like
invite and the friends thing?
Oh, get the fuck out of here, man. Bailey just told me out of nowhere, we're going to be in town, man. There's a series of things that felt really fucking
out of nowhere. There was a interaction on a plane, which then got back to Bailey.
Oh, yeah. Liv Morgan. Yes. Liv Morgan. I guess he lost his earpod and Liv Morgan was like looking for it on the ground. You should come. Yeah, they told him he should come, knowing how Vince McMahon is, and Vince actually kicks him out. Vince kicks him out of the fucking building. Knowing how Vince McMahon is, somebody decided, let's invite Punk over. So the person that invited Punk is an asshole, right? Because they fucking knew that he would be kicked out, and they invited him over to be kicked out. Are you calling Bailey an asshole, CM Punk? Is that what you're saying? All right, that's fucked up, but I didn't say it. You did.
Vince has let weirder people back in there.
Totally not CM Punk. CM Punk.
Until he hugged him.
Until he hugged him. Hey, I don't make decisions around here anymore, motherfucker. You wouldn't be here if it was for me, kid. So the quote continues. He says, the second day we had this show, AEW Collision. I'm sitting in catering. Tony Schiavone comes to get me. He says, Jack is cussing me out. Cussed me out, Mike Mansory, and he's cussing the doctor out right now. I was told people needed to be separated so there's not problems. So you don't want me in this. You all need to handle this, because if you don't, I'm going to handle this, and you're not going to like how I handle it. Then he says, I don't know anything about Jack being on vacation, but there are people that show up one day a week and they want to show up, wrestle, and film vignettes and sit at home for weeks. Do what you want. It's not my company. It's not but not on my show. So, it basically confirms that other part of the report that he assumed Jack Perry was trying to get days off, which is, again, funny as fuck. Jack Perry, the guy who's worked more matches in the company at this point than anybody else in the entire fucking promotion, is trying to angle to get a day off. Sure, I'll accept that Punk thought that for whatever reason, for the sake of moving forward. I'm sure. I'm sure he confused him with like Miro or something. They look alike. So he says what Jack wanted to do was he wanted to smash the window of a rental car with a pipe. And I was like, Doc's told you no, Darrow's told you no, Mike's told you no, Schiavone told you no, and apparently you cussed them out. So I'm telling you no, we don't do that here. And if you want to do that, go to Wednesday and do it. This was one of those things that I always thought was missing a piece of information, because I know that Jack Perry didn't walk in the building, point at the rental car and say, I'm going to bust that thing open. And without any previous fucking planning, or we just came up with this fucking idea. Tony Khan has no idea, but
you certainly like to think that.
I'm going to bust this shit open, guys. I got this great idea. No, it's fucking reported that he had permission.
Yeah.
Of course he did, because who the fuck comes to a show and decides they're going to bust a window open on a rental car without permission? And that's not what CM Punk is harping. You would think that's what he would bring up. This guy's going to bust his window open. He didn't ask anybody. That's not what the fuck he's talking about. He's just saying the doctors told him this is not a good idea.
Several people told him it's not a good idea.
Tony Schiavone, who actually was asked about this today.
Was he?
He said, I don't give a shit what CM Punk has to say. I was like, oh shit. So Tony, what the fuck? He was talking about you in a pretty good way, Tony. I was like, oh shit.
He was on your side, homie.
No, I don't give a fuck. All right. All right. So he says, to come to this show, everyone's supposed to be separated to get rid of all the drama. And you're swearing at a doctor because it's real glass, it's gonna get in your eye. There's a safe way to do that. And I politely said to him, I said, this is a different show. If you want to do that, go to Wednesday. Yeah. He clearly took something very business minded, very personally, which is fine because I've done that before too. And it's very much who he's friends with. And it never got squashed. Nobody's in charge. And it turned into what it turned into. Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, that's how I would describe my interactions with people too. Hey, listen, I just let him know. I told him politely, I said, hey, please don't hit the glass, Mr. Jack Perry, sir.
Sure.
CM Punk continued on to talk about what it led to at All In. He says, Jack came back from his match. I was the next match. And I've got people with me. I walk up to him and I'm like, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV? And he was like, well, if you got a problem, do something about it. And I'm like, come on, man, I'd kill you. What are we doing? I thought I was doing the responsible thing. I didn't punch anybody. I just choked somebody a little bit. Samoa Joe was there. He told me to stop, and then I quit. People have made a big deal about it because I thought he was joking. I didn't think he was like, I was doing the responsible thing. I just choked somebody a little bit. I didn't really have an issue with that. It was a fight. It was what it was. Although I did think it was funny. The makeup girl, I don't know if she works there anymore. She worked there then. She gave her description of what Punk described as his choke, and apparently he tried to I guess he tried to guillotine Jack Perry, but it slipped off.
Headlock.
Yeah, he got double leg, and then they broke it up.
Sure.
So that's the closest we get to an eyewitness account because there's nobody else to really talk about it. So
Joe ain't talking about it.
Yeah, Joe's not talking about it. I thought I did the responsible thing. I didn't punch anybody. I just choked somebody a little bit. Joe was there, told me to stop, then I quit. I turned to Tony. I said, this place is a joke, man. You're a clown. I quit. I went to my room. Joe and Jerry Lynn got me, and let's just go out there and kill it. I was just too fired up, and I'm fired up now. I'm probably going to regret talking about it. Yeah, I mean, shit. Again, it sounds like exactly the way I would describe what happened to me. I don't expect him to be like, and then I took it too far. But reading between the lines, I turned to Tony. I said, this place is a joke, man. You're a clown. I quit. So you take that account and you compare it to the I was feared for my life account.
Sure.
And then you compare that to the middle ground account, which was CM Punk lunged at Tony Khan, knocked TVs over on top of him and all that shit.
Sure.
So now I have to imagine this. I turned to Tony Khan. I said, this place is a joke, man. You're a clown. I quit. That tone times 20, let's see. I mean, maybe 10 with aggression. I can apply that same math to the rest of the fucking story. To the rest of the fucking story. Because it's one person's account of their point of view, and that's exactly how it's gonna be. So that's what I thought was interesting, that people are like, well, this is the way it happened. I was like, yeah, that's the way he says it happened.
Of course.
Yeah, eventually
listen,
he said,
no story is without bias on any side.
That's why I was like, there's a couple of accounts you can compare here. Like, you can find some truth in the middle of this if you use the previous reports and what he's saying now. But he continues on the Tony Khan thing. I don't like the drama, but the truth is the truth. He's not a boss. He's a nice guy. Ultimately, I think that's a detriment to the company. But it's not my company. I'm an outsider. I thought I was brought in to sell merchandise and tickets and draw numbers for pay-per-views and stuff. And I clearly did that, but that's clearly not what this place is about. Some people didn't like that. Yeah, that's certainly another thing that's one person's perspective. The Tony Khan nice guy thing is something that we've all thought. The idea that
more than many people have locked in on that one.
Punk throughout this interview and at that press conference, he again kind of implies that the success of the company at the time was thanks to him. The draw, the $1 million house, thanks to him. The all fucking success during his time was thanks to him. And I think that's fucking bullshit.
I mean, I think
Absolute
I imagine
fucking
mathematically speaking, you can definitely. I
bullshit.
think you can definitely allocate some numbers being changed from his debut onward, and
I think
I don't know
that
how else you'd slice that.
I think they were fucking fine. I wish he hadn't come because they would have done these. They would have got to these numbers anyway. It's the fucking funniest shit when he came down. He sat down at that fucking press conference and he said, "What have these guys done?" After they fucking set the foundation for him to return to. So that has never sat right with me. That has felt like some of the most fucking nasty, unappreciative shit from way before all this shit now. It's just been funny to me watching this guy come in here with a WWE mindset like that. Like, I've done everything. These guys have done nothing. Who are they to tell me anything? It fucking still exudes that from this interview. Who are they to tell me anything? I've done so much more than them.
Sure.
And it's fucking garbage. Of course that fucking mindset was never gonna fit in this goddamn locker room. The fuck out of here.
I mean,
there's some shit.
There is something to be said about the battling mindset of, there's something to be gained from the vets around you, and I don't listen to vets.
Yeah, and which was cleared up as I don't listen to assholes. It was meant to be a fucking it was meant to be a reference specifically to assholes because it's obvious. But no, it's very literal. The guy says he doesn't listen to vets. No, motherfucker, he doesn't want to listen to you. He doesn't want to listen to you specifically, you, sir. But it sounds much better when it's spoken generally. That's why you say it, so you don't have to say anybody's name specifically. But it's fucking obvious, especially when the motherfucker had to clear it up himself afterwards. Yeah, Tony Punk doesn't get all the way into the all-out scrum because of the
various legal matters.
Yeah, this big ass NDA. But he basically says that he gets out there and he sees these goofs. He's talking about Meltzer and Alvarez, and he loses his temper. But he calls it a top 3 CM Punk promo. He said because Houseman is the one, but he keeps talking about Meltzer through the entire interview. So and he does address them during the Brawl Out promo. He kind of mentioned that because Brian Alvarez had talked about how Punk going out there and calling out Hangman was he was like, fuck, this is bullshit. And then Punk was like, he referred to that. Like, didn't you say it was bullshit? I'm glad it was Brian Alvarez and not me. He got his kicked out of the scrum. Reflecting on his AEW run, CM Punk says that the positives outweigh the negatives.
To just make a point on the scrum, I know I think a lot of people like it. We got a cool moment out of it, and I'm not gonna piss on that. I do think the shoot scrums are a bad fucking idea, though.
I think they're a bad idea when you have CM Punk there.
I think they're a bad idea with anybody.
Fine,
I don't understand the point of these shoot interview scrums.
I don't understand the point of not doing them. What are you protecting? How come Ariel Helwani can get an exclusive shoot interview, but doing it after the show is wrong? How come we can talk about this stuff?
I think the show is the show.
Yeah, but this isn't the show. This is after, and it's not even like. Yeah, but it's not like you have to watch this to get to the next chapter. This is not.
I think it should be.
No, then it becomes a problem. Now, if the pay-per-view finishes and you're doing things on the scrum to build to the next show, while talking about things in a shoot context.
No, I don't think you should be talking about things in a shoot context at all.
Yeah, see, I don't like that. I don't agree with that. I think part of the thing that makes this part of the thing I fucking enjoy about the scrum is that we can have those conversations. No. This has nothing to do with that. Before CM Punk fucked it up.
It's before CM Punk. It's still chaos because you're gonna have guys just asking these questions about the thing that came up on Twitter the other day.
God, That,
hey,
yeah, I guess you get that
Hunter,
shit, but
what are you gonna do about like Drew Gulak?
that's what press conferences should be for. I guess that's partly why they're so fucking interesting, because you get an opportunity to ask these questions, sir. There was a fucking sexual harassment thing last week. You haven't commented on it, and we, the media, would like to know your thought. Being a media person, I have no issue with that at all. Like, I don't fucking give a fuck how they feel about it. I don't think you should either. It shouldn't be our concern how they feel about it. But as a fan, as a person that enjoys watching, I enjoyed the scrums from day one. I love that we're talking about this like this, because they do it anyway. There's no more fucking, there's no kayfabe. There just isn't. It doesn't exist. There's no kayfabe left to protect. You fucking
which is some
building.
of the problem with the shows to begin with.
That's cool, but you're building WrestleMania right now, and you're literally they're out there doing shoot interviews to build to WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that's the world that we live in.
Understand that, but that's what it is. And it is the world we live in. That I can't do anything about that.
No, but that's what I mean. So,
I don't agree with it.
But that's what I mean. Like, that's just where we are, and if we are there, if this is the world that we live in, then why not? Why not do the scrum? You take control of it most times.
They can't take control of it.
99% of the time.
To take control of it.
Once.
Several times.
Once. One time they've not been able to control it. Any other time is just people being like, I didn't like that quote, or he should have said more, or like, oh, I'm going to talk for 2 days about how I didn't like the way he was dressed when he said that. But none of that shit actually matters. Like, who the fuck cares? What? Who the fuck?
But then why are we doing it?
The time, because I want to watch these motherfuckers answer a question.
Hey,
no, you guys were out.
That's the answer to why you watching it. If I'm saying we can't control, what these people say, and there's no point to doing any of it that has to do with the story, then why are we doing it?
Entertainment factor, and for this level of transparency that's never existed before they decided to
There's
do
not
that.
very much transparency at all either, because like the moment they asked Hunter about the Vince thing, he was just like, well,
WWE press conferences are work entirely. They're fucking shoot like 3 seconds, and they'll be like, and
I'm talking about both of them.
His ass.
You think I was just talking about AEW?
Yeah, because the AEW.
No, I'm talking about both of them.
The AEW scrums are like the wrestlers on the podium handle it like a shoot. Like they're just, the lights are off, work is over. They're talking about what they're talking about. Damn, earlier me and Takeshita went out there and killed it, but you guys hate each other. But the show's over, and we're talking about how fucking great it was. In a WWE post-show press conference, they're still on. The characters are still on when they come up onto the podium. It's the reporters that are treating it like, most of the reporters anyway, like Jesus says, you get assholes that ask questions about Taylor Swift or whatever. And a lot of people are just happy to be there or whatever. I don't judge them for that. I know some people are like, you've gotten to this press conference. Why didn't you ask them about like the most horrible thing? It's like, well, as it turns out, I am a wrestling journalist, and I don't think I'm qualified to ask about some of the things you want me to ask about. So I will ask wrestling questions. I'm not going to judge nobody for that shit. But at a WWE press conference, the wrestlers are on, I guess, compared to AEW press conference where the wrestlers are off, and they do things like cut shoot promos that fucking shit on the entire company. Thankfully that doesn't happen very often. But yeah, no, I just like watching them. They're fun. I would hate to not have them. But again, talking about CM Punk specifically, I always felt he should have been. I would have been. I would not have handled that like Tony Khan handled that. I would have been a little more aggressive, but that's just me as a person. I also would have ran down on him.
Wasn't that like one of the main things I pointed out? Like that was, to me, that was going to become the biggest problem going forward throughout the entire thing. It was less like Punk going off was of a crazy thing in its own right. What I saw at the end of the day was, wow, he just took it.
I would never have let someone be dismissive of my company like that. Like
Yeah.
if we were sitting at a fucking Dershi radio press conference and this asshole is working for me, but he's like, none of these guys here, this Greg guy, this Nick guy, they never done shit, man. And they're talking shit to me, and I'd have been like, you know what? We're gonna have to cut this off. At the very least, we're gonna talk about this shit backstage. Cause in front of all these fucking goofballs, you're gonna talk about all this shit and you're gonna dismiss my guys. Like,
Sure.
no, never.
Because that was the point where I was just like, does Tony Khan fucking agree with him? Because he's just like, yeah, he's nodding and shaking his head, and and then that's another moment where I was just like, this is kind of a weakness. This is a bad thing, mostly because, say what you want about just how people were nicer these days in the industry, there are still a lot of those guys who will eat you alive.
There he is, the one that'll eat you alive, and then did. Fucking, hey, listen, for all you fucking want to love him, the guy, I can't fucking say that he mentioned that the people in the AEW locker room didn't want him there, and I think it got to that point. I'm sure that it got to a point where people wanted him gone. I do not believe that they didn't want him there from the beginning. That is a crock of
Why
shit.
is that?
Everybody and their fucking mother wanted CM Punk to come to AEW because it made sense. It was like, this is the anti.
Do you think it made sense to everyone?
It made sense to everyone. There's interviews. I can pull up video clips of the actual people that he claims did not want him begging for him to come. And post those fucking clips right now. For a fucking fact, everyone and their mother thought this old piece of shit coming to this company made sense because he was the anti-WWE hero for his whole career in the company, which is weird. Not his whole career, the last 2-3 years. Anyway, he was the voice of the voiceless, the guy who speaks against the fucking WWE. He got kicked out of the company and left pro wrestling. It made every fucking ounce of sense for him to come back to the place that claimed to be anti-corporation, fucking.
In a business sense, yeah, I think most people would agree with
Everybody thought it made sense. It's when he arrived here that it became clear that it wasn't gonna happen. It sucks that it turned out
that.
that
What wasn't
way.
gonna happen?
That him working in this company wasn't gonna happen. It just wasn't gonna happen. He can tell good stories, but he wasn't gonna mesh with the people who work here for a variety of reasons. The one being that
I wouldn't be surprised if they already knew that, though.
I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody expected Cole Cabana to be shunned and to cause a snowball effect.
Sure, but but again, that's such a stupidly innocuous situation that chances are he had nothing to fucking do with, and because there's no communication in this place, apparently, that's a rabbit hole.
They've said, yeah, that's been a thing. They've been talking about that forever. Communication issues, between the high
Tony Khan or anybody else, and the talent.
He won't answer my phone calls.
Yeah. So like that's something. I don't want to play the blame game, but that is something that, at least I think, as the boss, you nip that shit immediately. No, it was my call. I'm not booking him. Nobody else has anything to fucking do with it.
I always wondered how he could possibly fucking do all his jobs at once. It's got these are the things that fall between those cracks that end up becoming big holes. It's just these things that you're like, man, I'm running a football team. They can handle this, but they could not handle it. They could not. As it turns out, they could not.
I mean, it's sort of what I said before about how many pots does The Rock have boiling, right? How many of them can he pay attention to at the same time?
Yeah. That's probably why his run is about to end in a couple weeks.
I gotta go
But
back to my other 4 jobs.
no, I think there's a lot of ways to look at this. I think, like we said before, ultimately it comes down to Tony Khan because
Yeah.
there's a lot of things he could have done to pacify, prevent, keep shit from going down. Also, there's a lot of missing pieces of information, so it's like fuck.
Just sort of take the buck for like, hey, I'm the boss. I said this is how the situation is. Let's just fucking do the work.
He I wanted to touch on one last thing.
Punk related or just another note?
No, well, one last punk related thing
Okay.
before I moved on.
Yep.
I again, I always huh?
I said, damn, it's late.
Is it? Oh shit! It's fucking
5
5 a.m. over there. God damn it. Yeah, no, he. I don't want to turn this one into too long of
Just
anything.
say the thing.
There was 2 pieces of very like I spoke about how hypocritical some of it felt just watching
Sure.
watching Punk, but there was 2 really really bad ones that I just thought was like this is objectively bad. Like why would he say this thing? The first one was I understood the sentiment behind what he was saying, but the
Okay.
idea that guaranteed money ruined wrestling.
I totally understand that.
I understand what he's saying, or what
Okay.
he's trying to say. I think it's a very surface level thought. I think there wasn't.
I mean, a lot of people were saying it just in reference to WCW, right?
There was, yeah, but then consider the things they were doing, right? You're like comparing paying Mercedes Monet to paying Lanny Poffo.
No, I think
fucking
you're comparing
sit
just
down,
people
like-
having to work for the house instead of like, or work for work for like their worth being related to what they are bringing to the event. To just like your money has been dealt with upon signing. That stuff's dealt with.
as it should be. I don't believe in this bullshit that they should have to have. I think you should work for incentives. There should be
Sure.
incentives. Sure. To that thought process, there should be incentives for working harder.
Where you,
But when
well,
I see how
I don't
many,
want to say working harder, but like
not
your
working harder, but succeeding.
your
You know,
yeah, like your pay seemingly being relevant to what you have brought to the building, to the event. Like that was the way wrestling,
well,
purposed
I mean, it
itself.
was literally that though. It was literally like we just won't have the money to pay you if you don't if you don't draw this house. We literally won't
There's
have
also
the
that
money to
too,
pay you. See, I think that's fucking garbage. I think that led to the fucking deaths and horrible ends for a lot of wrestlers who put in a lot of work and who drew a lot of massive fucking houses and who got paid based on their fucking houses. That lack of guaranteed money fucked so many of his heroes. That lack of guaranteed money is the reason somebody like Roddy Piper was able to call his own death. Like, this fucking, I hated that. I hated hearing that come from him, even though I understood it. I was like, I fucking hate you right now. You nasty piece of shit. Fucking, and then the final thing was that I laughed at the business line because I just I couldn't that I mentioned that earlier. All of a sudden, you're Mr. Fucking Capitalism. Get the fuck out of here. You fucking kill me. You make me laugh. I mentioned one of the things I love the fucking most about that company is that they put the passion first. They put the wrestling first. It's a wrestling company. They do wrestling things. It doesn't. And a lot of the things Punk said about them not being professional or not being a company, I think that comes from it being run that way. I think it also comes from just Tony Khan not knowing better. Like fucking
I'd argue it's more that one myself, but
more. There's some of that. No, there's fucking absolutely some of that. There's some things that you just don't know until you experience them. You have all the money to start a big operation, but you've never had the experience to run a big operation like that in pro wrestling. So I get that, but there's also a lot of handle shit yourself, fucking.
I mean,
pussy.
I think there's something to be said that if you come out the end of an event and you're thinking more about how great the matches were than how full the room was, yeah, I think there's something to be concerned about there.
Maybe for me, I think if Tony Khan is thinking that way, then sure, that's a problem. I don't.
Yeah,
think
that's what we're talking about, isn't it?
But I also don't believe that he thinks that. I don't believe that he thinks that way.
Sure.
I don't believe rich people are wired that way. I think the way they stay rich is they're fucking frugal. To that credit, there was very funny.
That's a harsh situation. Where yeah.
I think. Listen, I think there was a very big,
potentially a big difference there in somebody who made that money and somebody who's always had it.
Sure, I can see that too. There's also
I think if you've made that money, you have the exact thought process you described.
See, but from all when the fucking company first started, from all the research that I had done on this fucking guy, the father had to force them to spend this money. The father wanted to see him and his sister spend his fortune before he fucking died because they wouldn't. So there's no, from what I can find, the history doesn't support this idea that there's this free willy money spending person just throwing money at this thing because it makes everybody else happy. It just doesn't. It doesn't support that idea. I think that's not only that. I think that's a fucking. It's a talking point that I think the people that don't do any research into. You see a rich person, you know they have a rich father, you make your assumption, you move on with it. I feel like if you look a little deeper, you can come up with a more educated hypothesis. I think they spent a lot of money on this company. I think the idea being that they were going to run it as a startup, and it's a word that they use a lot. It's a word that they have used, that I've heard Cody use when he worked there, that I've heard Tony Khan use in interviews. That first 5 years of a startup business is where they try to make that profit. And if the fucking fifth year comes and they don't make that profit, they start making changes and they start cutting things here and there and they start moving things over here and there. And that's how that fucking works. I think there was a big risk taken on AEW.
Of course.
Money wise. I think Tony Khan,
I'm gonna make a run.
I think Tony Khan put a lot of money into AEW. I don't think that he did that with the idea that he would make none back. That just doesn't correlate with what I have found out about this man, with what I've learned about Tony Khan, just based off what I can find. That's not based off me as a fan or what I think of him as or what I think of the company or anything. That's just based off of what I know. If I thought he was just throwing money at the company all willy nilly for the sake of for the sake of just being happy and doing pro wrestling shit, then fine. Like, I would be happy with that. I would actually tout that shit. I would talk to people about it. Yeah, this rich motherfucker just throws money at this shit for no reason. It doesn't make any back, but it makes me happy. It's fine. But it doesn't seem to be that. So, yeah. So if you're wondering why there's nobody here, it's just me and Greg. My fucking camera died. And I think Greg ran to the bathroom. But AEW the CM Punk thing comes out. CM Punk says, Tony Khan, he's a nice guy. He's not a boss. And eventually, I was about.
It's hard to sometimes choose between the coffee and the energy drink because I know neither one of them is gonna sustain for very long.
Jesus. No. But no, I was mentioning how the AEW fan base was like, there were people that were agreeing with Punk that Tony Khan's a nice guy. He doesn't run a business to make money. He runs it to, make people happy. And then on the same day, They make cuts for the first time ever, and you wouldn't be wrong if you laughed and thought to yourself, "Man, did he just hear CM Punk say that and decide he's a boss now?"
Sure.
So I laugh. I'm sure that's not the case at all. The company
No,
just got a
you would not.
new.
I would not blame you for thinking that a young person heard something and then was reactive. It's not an illogical thought, but no, it doesn't mean that's what happened either.
But going back to what you're talking about, and being a startup business and making that profit in the 5th year, they have got a new chief operating officer. They got a new COO. Just started with the company. I
In the AEW?
assume, yeah, he came from WWE. I think he was their live events coordinator or something like that. I think he has a lot of experience. But
John, hiring WWE people is bad.
bad. How dare you? No, they've been steadily for the past, I don't know, year, they've been adjusting their business model, like getting ready for this 5th year, because not only is it the 5th year of the existence of the business, it is their deal year. It's the year where they have to come over renewal. So it kind of comes together in this perfect way where they've been restructuring the business to get ready for that 5th year where they start to make money. They've got a new deal coming that's going to bring an influx of money, but they made 3 big signings, so you kind of have to offset that.
Yeah.
And thus came AEW's first ever kind of spring cleaning.
Yep.
And it kind of sucks because, you never want to see anybody lose their job. First of all, like, what the fuck? I don't want to see anybody lose their job. That blows. But also, these people weren't doing anything. It's like, they fired people who were doing nothing except for like Dasha, who was working on Saturdays, and I guess Jose the assistant, but he also wasn't doing shit. Anthony,
he was kind of pointless once Andrade left, right?
yeah, but he was with Roosh, and Roosh is like really.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
and even then, like, that was just Roosh basically like filling in Andrade's spot, wasn't it?
yeah. I've seen. Well, in a way,
it's not like they
Roosh,
just kind of passed over Roosh's. Like, and granted, they're related. I guess you can do that, but
there's this argument online that Roosh is a detriment to himself by wanting to bring his crew with him everywhere, and
I could see why.
His father, his brother, his friend, and I think the idea is that Roosh would probably be in a much better position if he didn't have everybody else attached to him.
I could see that
because he's so damn good. And
Sure.
it looked like Jose was one of those people who was in that crew. So I don't know if they're like chipping away at it, but I don't know that Roosh is going to be really happy with it. And I'm figuring you probably lose him eventually because of it, but it's not like he has many places to go. So
listen, there's something to be said about looking out for your friends, but sometimes it's too much.
Jesus says, "How is PVZ still in AEW?" I don't know. I don't know. Like, how are they paying her? I know she's on the roster page, but does that mean she gets a check? Like, how does that really work?
Yeah. Did we ever have any idea like what deal she signed to begin with?
No, we just didn't. They said she was all elite. They didn't mention how. They didn't mention where. But anyway, the list.
And they really do, don't they?
No. But the list of released talent was Stu Grayson, who just got his job back a couple months ago. Dasha, the Tate twins, who contacted the Tate twins, who the boys, they got eaten off on. They got killed off by being eaten by bears on Ring of Honor television.
You're kidding me.
That is what happened to them. I guess Johnny Mundo wins the custody of the boys from Dalton Castle and then takes them hiking and they get eaten by accident. It was careless with the boys and they got Anthony Henry was one that really killed people because he just had he's got a broken jaw. He's injured. He's out. So he can't even work. So that really sucks. Jose's the assistant. Parker Boudreaux.
Did it happen on AEW television?
No.
Okay,
It happened at an indie show, which
gotcha.
you know, it's weird. They the ones who let him do it. So, fucking Parker Boudreaux, George Joel, who I literally forgot existed, and Slim J, who I was like, no, why'd you hire him then? Damn it! I'm like, what the fuck? You stole him from obscurity to just throw him back. Why
Yeah.
did you do that? He even said it. He made a post like, I thought this was gonna be the contract to get me and my family out of fucking garbage,
Oh
but,
Jesus.
but I guess not. I was like, fuck, this is horrible. And now you had outsiders feeling how they felt about AEW on Monday, and then you had the fan base feeling about it too, because they're like, no, you fired these people. You've never fired anybody before. What the fuck? I saw people like furious. You fucking paid them. You need to honor the fucking contract. I was
No,
like,
they don't.
damn. I was like, damn. I understand the sentiment. I do.
Yeah.
I really do. But
It's
doesn't
incorrect,
work.
but I understand it.
It doesn't work that way. It's just one of those things, man. It's like I heard a lot of you better give WWE, you better give them the same energy you give WWE when they release people.
What?
And I'm like, well, I don't
Do you
know
want
that
them to thank them in their future endeavors publicly?
like I don't know that it worked. I don't even know that it's the same. Like you're comparing dumping 20 people while making record profits, or like dumping 20 people during a pandemic. Like
Yeah.
dumping 5 people as we try to make a profit.
Five,
It doesn't,
5 people
or
who
10 people.
10 people who I don't think were even on the main show.
No, and hadn't been in a long time.
They're
So I
all on the
mean,
like I feel like you want to point out a certain bit of uh how do you say it? I guess hypocrisy, where it's just like you want to feel bad about these people, but also were you watching Ring of Honor?
or didn't we just have the conversation where it's like, you know what, that Tony Khan guy, too nice, not enough of a boss.
Yeah.
and then they do a boss
He
decision.
started doing boss shit, and he was like, "Hey, now, whoa,
Hey,
you're
whoa,
letting
whoa,
me
whoa,
back in.
whoa, relax, relax.
We wanted you to punish one guy." No.
It was just Jack Perry. We were just talking about Jack Perry. No. So yeah, man, that was rough. I mean, especially for AEW, because they had gone so long without ever doing it.
Yeah.
Honestly, kudos to those 5 years for wrestling. We'll always have the pandemic era.
Yeah.
I think there is something to be said though. I think about AEW letting WWE become the cool company. Like you were the cool company and they were the shit company, and then you let the momentum flip. How does that happen? How do you fix that? I mentioned before, I think the way to fix it is to stay the course now. Just keep satisfying your core fan. Keep satisfying your core fan base.
So
Generate those core positive conversations and begin changing the conversation online, because I think
I had
online is
heard
the
a
biggest
comment.
thing.
I had heard a comment through the various like podcast clips you come across, and one of them was simply put, AEW pleases AEW fans, which is a sentiment I've made clear several times. You know, every time somebody points out like how stupid something is, or how like unentertaining something is, typically the truth of the matter is, well, they like it because it's getting reactions. So even if I think it's stupid on TV, or you think it's stupid on TV, like, listen, I fucking despise the Orange Cassidy gimmick. It gets reactions though, so I understand why it's on TV. I don't have that cognitive block.
Ironically, the Orange Cassidy thing is he ends up having one of the most, I think, the single most viewed video, or like several of the most viewed videos on AEW's YouTube.
Probably.
He's like the most character AEW wrestler that there is, and I guess the people from around the world are like, I love that shit.
Yeah. So my point mostly being, I think there's just something to be said or be asked about. Like, is it like the acceptable practice to just say we have a product that just appeals to this fan base and that's it?
I guess the question is, what's the goal?
Yeah, that's a huge question to me. Yes.
There's
it's not what I'm saying you need to answer or they need to answer, but
no,
I think that's something important to. I wish we could say we knew the answer so that we could just say this is the identity of the company and we just take it and leave it for what it is.
I'm sure they wish they had the answer too. As someone who
is that the big problem that they don't know?
I don't think anybody
in your
knows.
opinion.
I don't think anybody can know. I don't think you can ever know. You just kind of try to follow trends and see what happens. But then when you're following trends, you can lose yourself. It's what happened to them last year.
With the MJF.
They tried to ask the question, what are we just catering to AEW fans?
Yeah.
And then when the MJF thing and Adam Cole thing became successful, it was like, well, maybe we are. Maybe we are. Maybe we need to expand.
Maybe that's who we are.
Change. Maybe that's who we need to be. And it was like, no, come back. Not only did you not attract the other fans, you pushed the ones who are here.
Sure.
Come back. You need to start over. I don't think that appealing only to the AEW fans is the way to go. You can't appeal only to them. However, you absolutely should make an effort to make sure that they are served. They were here. They are going to be here. Yeah. Vince McMahon had this idea that for every one hardcore fan he lost, he would gain 10 casual fans. So he didn't give a fuck. He actually said, that's a quote from him that I kept with me my entire life because it told me how much I meant to him, which is very little. When did that Vince McMahon documentary come out? 2005? What was it? 2006?
WWE produced one?
Yeah, McMahon. Every year that came out, I was a teenager, and that line burned into my skull. Oh, I see. That's how they feel. Fine. AEW doesn't have that luxury. For every hardcore fan they lose, that is it.
That is a fan.
That is a fan who's gone. You do not push those fans away. I think if you ever find that you're pushing your core fan base away, you need to step the fuck back. Me being that core fan base, I'm there. I enjoy the show because 2006. So I was a 17-year-old boy. And I was like, yeah, these motherfuckers don't give a fuck about me. Get it. I don't think AEW has that luxury. They're not going to gain 10 casual fans, and I don't think they should be pushing their hardcore fans away at all. So I think there's a balance. I think they should always be striving to reach out
more people. Yes,
at least one segment of.
I think the trouble with that, and again, it's the trouble. Not the trouble. The pitfall you try to avoid, which we spoke about, and is heavily connected to what we say is the MJF year, is that it is very difficult to try to branch out to new people as this alternative idea without losing yourself along the way. Right? You want to present a product that is not the other thing, but you want to reach new people, but sometimes new people just aren't into this thing. So it's very difficult to be like, do we make the sacrifice or do we find a way to reach those people? And that's when you start potentially losing the identity. And I guess that's what people complained about. You know, it doesn't feel like AEW or whatever, right?
It definitely felt like a show I didn't want to watch, which is that's not how I want AEW to be ever.
Sure.
like I said, you lose yourself by losing the balance. I think right now, I can't say they're not making an effort. Literally, Mercedes Monet exists for that singular purpose. And it's look at what you get. Look at what you're faced with. You literally sign one of the biggest women in the world who has a big old fan base, and you're faced with this level of, I guess, I don't know, loyalism. Like, it's people like rejecting her because she's not there. So what do you even do? What do you even do? That's why I say, what's the point? You can have your fucking, you should not even be worried about them specifically. You should be worried about reaching motherfucking teenagers that watch Shameless or some shit. I don't fucking know. Worry about worry about reaching fucking when they had Jay Cargill and she was doing work with all types of hip hop and Shade Room and all that shit. That's the kind of casual reaching out you should do. Like,
it's
not
Shade Room.
this is fucking they do what we do, but for urban culture.
I know who you're talking about now. I didn't catch what you had said before.
Oh yeah. Then like shit like that. That's the kind of outward casual reaching you should do, which is, I know wrestling fans are weird about that kind of shit, but that's the kind of shit you need to do to bring people in. Look at, I hate to say this, but there are some cues they should be taking from
wrestling fans are weird about
WWE.
that shit because they don't trust other people with their thing.
That's true, but like, just look at WWE right now, man. They're so good with outward reaching, and not just with their fucking corny ass program. Like, just the things that they do outside of the program. Like, Lil Wayne's gonna perform at WrestleMania. Like, Lil Wayne and Meek Mill are gonna perform at WrestleMania in Philadelphia.
Sure.
Fuck, you know how many headlines that's gonna be in? Lil Wayne's gonna debut a new single at WrestleMania. That's the kind of, yeah, he is. That's the kind of casual fucking outreach they're doing.
Sure.
That's the kind of shit that makes, like, and we used to laugh at WWE for
bigger than that, like the entire signing of Logan Paul.
They had Lil Uzi Vert at an AEW show, and they didn't have him perform. WWE brought in Lil Uzi Vert to WrestleMania, and he performed his hottest single. It was viral. There were moments.
I don't remember when that happened.
Lil Uzi was at Grand Slam. He was at Grand Slam. He came out after Dynamite when we were there.
No, I mean, I don't remember him being at WWE.
Oh, he came out last year's WrestleMania, and he performed I Just Want to Rock.
I
Just want to rock.
Okay. I usually delete those WrestleMania performances from my head.
There's some. I always say the Limp Bizkit Crack Addict one is the one that sticks with me forever.
They did that one live?
Yes, they did. They performed that shit.
Like, I still, as much as I tried to delete it, I can't because I was there for it. The fucking Dirty Dirty Money thing.
I can't delete that because I was the only person in my section who knew any of his music. me and my cousin, we were there. Jake Emis says, "Hey, Tertiary Radio, how's it going? Ruining the wrestling industry with half-posted stories." I don't even know what this man is talking about. Let's see. Who else agrees? Nobody. You should have made an effort to post the accusations by Ronda Rousey and the response of Drew Gulak all in one link, not one side of it. Well, Jake, you lazy fuck, they two links
at the same time though.
Yeah, I know, you fucking lazy shit. I'm not sure how fucking heavy your fingers are, but if you swipe over, right, you'll find that there is an article for Ronda's accusation and an article for Drew's response. You lazy piece of shit. Who else agrees that you're a lazy piece of shit? Me. I agree. So WWE rumors are funny this week. It's WrestleMania. They get weird. You got people who believe MJF is going to show up to help Cody.
I think people believe that WWE just has like the cosmic power to pull off anything during WrestleMania weekend.
Hey, when they got CM Punk back, they changed their lives.
This is true.
No. So there have been rumors though that for the longest time that Giulia was coming to WWE, and it was
Whoa,
facilitated
for the longest.
by Rossy himself, Rossy Ogawa, former owner / head booker of Stardom.
Then it came out that was a report / maybe smear campaign
yeah,
by Boogie Road.
there's a whole lot of context to it. And I guess the gist of it is that Rossy started the promotion called Stardom for women in Japan and eventually sold it with the idea that maybe the new company would help him bring it to higher heights. Eventually, the new company made Stardom their own, and Rossy didn't agree with the vision, so he left, and a bunch of girls left.
As anyone with the financial investment eventually does.
Right? Oh no, I actually don't like your ideas, and I'm going to do mine because I spent a lot of money on it.
You know, like it's my money, so now I have a say. Like, I thought you gave me unilateral. That don't ever work this way.
No, sir. That will never work that way.
Works that way.
No. So
they gave me control for now.
There's about 5 girls who left Stardom for sure right now. I don't have the fucking list in front of me, and I should. It's on the Dirt Sheet Radio page too.
I had a picture of. I think I had a picture of them together.
I know that Giulia is leaving, Utami's leaving, Mirai's leaving. There's 2 more people leaving. Are these all the girls who are leaving?
It seemed like a good.
Tommy's leaving.
I know, but it's definitely a few people from Queen's Quest were
scared the shit out of me.
And like now, Queen's Quest needs a leader because Utami's leaving.
Jeez, no, man, that guy had it coming. Motherfucker couldn't click. No. Anyway, so there's a rumor that Giulia and Rossy were going to show up during WrestleMania weekend, and it sounds like hopeful shit. But then a couple hours ago, Rossy posted a picture of him. He landed in Philadelphia airport, and Piper Niven was there waiting for him.
I think Mercedes thought Giulia was showing up at
She was like, Willow's fighting Giulia
at
Dynasty.
Dynasty,
yeah. She's like, Willow's fighting Giulia. It's like not that. Not
really
that
interested in that. Like not that one.
No, not that one. She's the white one.
Giulia? God damn it.
It's the white one. No. They fuck Rossy and Giulia possibly at NXT Stand and Deliver tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night, Saturday morning. Yeah. That seems to be the big like, okay, they're gonna show up and fucking sit in the crowd and hey, but the more interesting part of that rumor is that certain people believe Rossy's new company is going to be partnered with WWE in some form. Some people going as far as calling it NXT Japan. Rossy is about to open NXT Japan. Rossy just came out of a relationship with Bushiroad where he didn't like how much
control
they had. Right? Did nobody fucking warn this guy about WWE? Or like, is he not aware? Does he not watch wrestling? Did he get into it from like the internet? Like, does he not know how WWE works? Because this is the last fucking place you want to go if you're looking for creative freedom and the ability to just be yourself and do what you want to do. This is not fucking happening here.
Yeah.
Just not.
I always had this thing where I said like you can claim, obviously, misinformation and the internet and all that stuff, but like so much information about that company is readily available that if you get surprised by anything when you got there, you just don't pay attention.
Pretty much. So
you just don't get a clue, man.
I don't know what the fuck Rossy is thinking, but it's going to be interesting to watch it happen. It's going to be a big ass week in pro wrestling if that drops. That'll be another big ass story. You're sitting right on top of WrestleMania. Rossy opens promotion with WWE. Oh boy, I would hate that because I was looking forward to what he was going to do.
Yeah.
This is not going to be anything like what I imagined. But
Yeah. If nothing else, like it's I feel like it's the worst case scenario that like oh yeah, we'll totally help you like start up this company, and you'll totally be a pipeline for us, and future
pretty much,
international talent.
you're
What?
fucking NXT
What?
Japan.
What?
What do you think about calling it NXT? What?
What? Whatever you say.
Anyway, that is pretty much us for this week.
I just realized that along with WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2, along with NXT Stand and Deliver,
oh yeah,
Sakura Genesis is this weekend.
and fucking Super Card of Honor.
Yes. So now we also get Yota Tsuji versus Tetsuya Naito, a match we have deliberated about multiple times.
This is gonna be the one. I really think
here, John.
I think this has got to be the one. I don't think Tsuji losing.
That's a question
good
you've
for
asked a
the
lot
brand.
this weekend. Is this the one? It's got to be the one.
It's got to be like so many ones.
There's so many ones it's got to be.
Super Card of Honor actually has a Stardom Showcase match, a 6-woman Stardom Showcase match that I am very, very interested in. They should call it the Stardom Gate Challenge because it reminds me of the Dragon Gate Challenge. A very Ring of Honor thing to do, to bring in to bring in people from another country and just showcase them together like that. Go out there and do your thing.
You go do it. Do the thing you do.
You do that thing. Mina Shirakawa is funny because she's gotten like one small taste of America and she's like, I need that shit in my life.
This is where I've always belonged. What have I been doing?
Man, she went out there to perform in front of the half arena. Meanwhile, she's the happiest she ever been in her fucking life. Look at all these people. Like, this is awesome.
I think there is something that happens a lot with the Japanese talent where it's just like not only is the work so tough over there, but like the stoicism and silent respectful nature of the Japanese crowds. Like they come over here and it's just like, oh, I barely did anything, and they're making noise.
They fucking love this shit, bro. Watch this. You just take up your hand.
Yay! See how easy that shit was.
That's awesome. That's how Takeshita. That's how Takeshita ended up over here.
15 minutes to get that reaction in Japan. I stood in this ring for 20 seconds and went, yay! And they said, yay!
I'm coming back. I need to come back. I'm really down. Super Card of Honor is going to be a great show.
I was right the entire time.
The Ring of Honor pay-per-views are so good. It's a damn shame that the weekly TV is not worth watching. But I mean, I've been saying that exact same sentence for 20 years. So I am nothing. I am.
You also said that.
By.
I disagreed with you, but you also said that about the NXT product.
I mean, it's the truth.
Again, I disagree with you. I disagreed with you on it, but you did say that about the
black and gold was all right, but it was that black and white. That's what I was here for. That black and white, that takeover. Give me that shit. Black and gold.
The takeovers were black and gold for a while.
The takeovers were black and white. Okay, after Brooklyn counts. Any of those PC takeovers, you don't fucking count.
It's not even the PC.
Or full sale Sega. That's kind of worse. Any of you playground takeovers don't fucking count.
Most of them were in there. You asshole.
The first takeover, I remember. I know they did this. It was an Arrival on the network. The very first takeover, they do the normal WWE intro. It's I think it was still the Andre the Giant WrestleMania.
We got a fantastic match for you here tonight.
Yeah. And midway through is statics. And it goes, and it's like it's like NXT takeover because they're taking over.
Yes.
Not only did they never fucking do that again, They removed that from the replay.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Someone was pissed.
Someone got pissed. Who the fuck said you can fuck with the intro? Vince didn't hear his dad's voice today, and he is furious. Yeah, someone got too overzealous.
You're killing me. I'm looking at it right now.
There was like 4 in the beginning. 4 of them.
Evolution, Chicago, 35.
The 4th one, no, I mean they go back when they go to the PC, they go back, but it was like 4 in the beginning that were in Full Sail. I particularly remember the one with the fatal 4-way between the horsewomen before they were horsewomen. Yeah, good old days. Anyway, that's probably us for the week. I didn't realize we went 3 hours. Jesus Christ.
I was watching that number the whole time.
Fucking hell. You should have stopped me. I could have gone to bed.
Like, you listen. You're not going to go to bed for another hour and a half.
Now? No, I can't. Might as well watch X-Men.
Oh, fuck. I do have to I have a bunch of shows I have to get to, honestly.
But
it's okay because I finally finished the universe, not universe. That doesn't finish. That's how that works.
My Rise?
Yes.
Nice. How was that?
It was very good. I there's a part toward the end which will make you laugh.
That's fucking hilarious.
You'll understand absolutely why. I look forward to you playing it and hopefully to you streaming it. No.
Maybe. Who knows?
Just because I want to see it. I want to see your character go through it and hear you react to stuff.
We gotta fit it in. We gotta figure out where to fit that in. Put it in the middle of the night somewhere.
Damn it! I'm just thinking about this. I'm already exhausted of like how much piggybacking there is on WrestleMania weekend. I'm just like, God, it's so much.
Oh, Greg, you have no idea. No, it's fucking.
I'm just talking about it's so much watching. I know you have the extra work to do as well, but
yeah, I started doing results on the website, which people really like, but it's like, oh no, am I supposed to do all those? Like, oh no, I don't want to do that.
We've got to watch Supercard of Honor. We've got to watch Stand and Deliver. We've got to watch both WrestleManias, and we've got to watch Sakura Genesis at some point. Is Noah doing a show too? I should probably check.
Yeah, and I thought I was gonna watch one of them GCW shows, but I don't see it. I don't see it.
You're not seeing it?
I ain't got no fucking time. I don't know when I'm supposed to fucking watch this shit.
Oh my God, it's too much. I wish. Okay, no, Keno versus Kiyomiya isn't to the 11th.
Okay, I mean,
there's some space there. Thank you, Noah.
A little.
We always loved you, Noah. I want you to know that.
The week goes on. The week goes on. Tomorrow,
and the beat
tonight.
Goes on.
Tonight, you will have the TNA Impact post-show rewind, hosted by who the fuck knows?
Do they have a pay-per-view this weekend?
Thankfully, no. Remember they used to do the multiverse thing?
Yes, they did.
What happened to that? WWE SmackDown post-show rewind for the go-home show right before WrestleMania. So, that's going to be wild. It's going to be live. Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor post-show rewind. That's going to be us. I'll be on that bitch. Yep. NXT Stand and Deliver watch-along the very next afternoon for you guys.
Yep.
I'll be up at 8 a.m. for you sons of bitches. WrestleMania
I make no promises about being up at 12 p.m., but if I am, I will join you.
That's nice. I appreciate it. You can join us midway. If not, we'll still be there.
And then I'll probably be like, I gotta go take a nap. I got work tonight.
Goodbye, everyone. NXT Stand and Deliver watch along middle of the day on Saturday. And then Saturday night, WrestleMania, Saturday post-show rewind. Sunday night, WrestleMania Sunday post-show rewind. And then
I'll just add, because it kind of is part of the weekend now, even though it's also part of your usual weekly schedule. Definitely jump in for Raw after Mania, because that's a big deal.
Well, we are going to be we definitely will have a Raw after Mania post-show rewind, but it didn't fit in the graphic, and we do Raw every week anyway.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's part of your weekly schedule anyway, but it is Raw after Mania has become part of the lore
I didn't notice. I'm looking at this and I didn't notice all the extra logos on the bottom. Why is there a WrestleMania kickoff on Friday? And what the fuck is the countdown to the Hall of Fame?
Jeez. You know what's weird? I figured the WrestleMania kickoff was just the Hall of Fame until I saw it under that.
What the fuck is this?
We'll go back to that. Yeah.
So there's a kickoff, and maybe it's a
Tomorrow's the set
replay.
reveal. It's going
Okay,
to
set
disappoint
reveal
everyone.
Thursday. Yeah, that's sad shit. Friday they got the kickoff, which I maybe just a replay of that Rock Las Vegas thing.
Maybe.
Because that's what they
right?
call it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That might be the taping of that event.
And then countdown to Hall of Fame. So I guess they're repurposing the word kickoff, and they're gonna use it for like those stage plays they put on. And then
like the last thing they did with the Bloodline family tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean that's what that was essentially, right? I mean, they did
Yeah,
one
I
for
think so.
they did one for Australia too.
Yes.
It's just like a play, like a thing they do.
A play.
Countdown to Hall of Fame, which I assume is now what the kickoffs used to be, because now they also have countdown to NXT Stand and Deliver, countdown
NXT
to
Stand and Deliver,
WrestleMania.
which amusingly has the exact same font as WrestleMania XL.
I thought that was cool. And it really helps this graphic right here feel really unified.
Yes. Although I'm still annoyed how small the extra large WrestleMania is.
It really is very tiny XL, but it's an XL, but you know, whatever. Sunday morning, the Slammies return.
Why?
Well, I mean, that was a WrestleMania weekend tradition in the 90s.
Yeah, I just like if it's not a bunch of people in a ballroom, it loses.
It doesn't hit the same. You're right. No, you're absolutely right. If it's not, I need them in suits and treating it like it matters.
I need them pretending this is the Oscars.
And finally,
just fake it. That's all I'm asking you.
They got the countdown to WrestleMania, the main show, and then the press conference, which is going to be hard to deal with because I'm going to be doing a post show.
You're basically going to be,
But we'll see. Though the press conference doesn't really have much. It's not like people are going to fight on it. It'll just be Cody coming out.
The greatest thing you ever saw during the WrestleMania press conference was John Moxley just putting his head on the
desk. I miss Moxley. Where the hell is he?
He's in Mexico.
What the fuck? Lakev Stanfield was in the running for Silver Surfer. How did we lose this? That would have been great.
Couldn't he still be in the running?
Yeah, but he kind of commented, making it seem like that's it.
Oh, like he's dropped out.
Yeah, he posted. Thought it was gonna be me, but I guess. Oh, rest in peace.
If you're lucky, maybe that's him. Maybe that's a play.
Why would he have thought it was gonna be him? What if they told him he was gonna be Norrin Rad, and then they announced the girl first, and now he's disappointed for no reason?
That's what I mean. Or what if he knows and that's him playing it off?
It would be better if he was playing it off, but I don't see Feige letting them play it off like that. It's just like, no, take that shit down.
It's one of those things like that'd be cool. I don't trust them to be that clever.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. We got a busy weekend, Jonathan.
I know. I want to die.
Did you have plans? Fuck them.
Yeah, what were those? No, I wouldn't have been dumb enough to do that. Be sure to check us out on the Comic Book Click website, because that's where we live now. Dirt Sheet Radio, Comic Book Click /Dirt Sheet Radios, where you can get all your same shit that you'd get on Facebook, but on an actual website now. We don't have to depend on Mark Zuckerberg or his kindness. We exist outside the spectrum of his reach. He can't touch me. I can say bitch, fuck, slut, ass, cunt, and he can't touch me. We're free. Check us out over there on Dirt Sheet Radio. Unless you are Jake Emus, who says you're responsible for it not being together, you money grabbing pieces of shit.
Money.
He thinks we get paid. You're so cute. Yeah, just click the fucking articles like anybody else, you loser piece of shit. Anyway, that's us, man.
He said money.
Major issues tomorrow. This morning, this morning. Major issues every Thursday morning. This
Yes.
episode will be the first released under the Dirt Sheet Radio Comic Book Click partnership, and the probably the second or third episode of Major Issues ever released on video. We'll be sharing those links later on today, so check them out, motherfuckers. Monk.com, promo code
I look forward to being
DSR10.
able to listen because I have to actually finish the book first.
It's a very fast book. How did you not finish?
Traveling.
Monk.com, promo code DSR10. It is a aromatherapy situation. I'm not big on aromatherapy. I know. I'm not big on aromatherapy. I don't know what it is exactly, but I know that if you enjoy it, we got a code for you. Use it. It's yours. Enjoy it. Boom. Delphin Pod shows available every week, everywhere podcasts are found. Check them out. Delphin Pod hosts a series of pop culture podcasts and cinema podcasts, and nestled all up in between those is Dirt Sheet Radio. We have our flagship podcast. That's this one. Usually fucking not 3 hours and 15 minutes long, but that's us. Shit. But I mean, that's us. That's the week, man. We'll talk to you guys soon. Next time.
Yo.